Hello and welcome to another episode of Maddie ALLin Live. I'm your host, Maddie ALLin, also pronounced ALLin, and I'm so excited to have you here for this episode where we're going to talk about the top 10 habits of highly wealthy people. And so we're going to do a long intro here so that the hexarid can come through, and then we'll be off to the races. Later on, a special guest appearance by Whales Only. Enjoy. This isn't Maddie ALLin Live. What was I talking about at the beginning of the episode? This is HEX Therapy Live. Welcome. And of course, we're doing this special series on HEX Therapy Live that is talking about your financial intelligence, your financial IQ, and how emotional IQ works together with that, and exploring topics that range from behavioral economics, and also general topics in finance and psychology, because as it happens, it appears that that's what the crowd wants, and that's something that I think I can speak to. And so I'm very excited that you're here today. I know that we've all been considering that past episode about sudden wealth syndrome. That's a good one. And so check that out if you haven't seen it yet. Also, I put some extra work into this one for you, and I actually did a blog post that we'll be going over so people can read it, you can hear it, you can act it out with your friends and family after the show. You can decide who gets to be me and who gets to be the viewer and who gets to be Balliet Brand. Nice to see everyone. Sig Hex. Let's see. Galactable, yes. Marcavelli, how's it going? Galactable again. Kinetics, the 10th commenter. You win a prize. My labor for a year, free of charge. Okay, Identity Block. Marco the Hexagon, how's it going? BG Hex, finally caught one in the beginning. All right. Thanks for joining. Let's see, everybody's saying hi to each other, because there's a lot of hexagons in here. Got Mateo J. Watches. And let's see. Abel Hex Archer. Benny Bills, how's it going? Flames. Oh, now everybody's here. Hex Toshi, how's it going? Crypto Gains Club, Naruto for the win. One Hexy Mofo, how's it going? Rusky, Crypto Ewok. Hey, there's the Twitch crowd. Flying Alex, BMA. Yeah, we're all looking forward to Vegas. And you know me, I've been putting in a lot of the hard work trying to get everything organized. Just like with the first HEX conference, we're going to make sure that we put all the effort that we can into making things as easy as possible for you, the end user, which is why I'm trying to come up with a system to protect your privacy, but to also make sure that we get this thing launched in terms of coordinating everybody being able to wear a matching t-shirt. The contest is still open, people, for another day. So get your submissions in. I've already gotten some great submissions for t-shirt design. You can tell this t-shirt's seen better days. From my early streaming days, it's already been just by washing it so much. So we're going to get higher quality for everybody. And I know that Kinetics and Discourse Syndicate are going to be a big part of that. So shout out to them. Thank you. Only the best for Hexicans. For Vegas, we're going to have a ticketing system so that we can know exactly how many heads we're going to have. I predict that a lot of Hexicans will come on their own for a solo adventure, and a lot will be bringing a guest. And so the ticketing system will allow us to collect money for the t-shirts. And then, I'm also working out how we can possibly accept crypto so you don't have to dox yourself. And then if there's a way to either mail you the t-shirt or possibly pick it up in Vegas. So again, we can protect your privacy. I'm going to be doing a badge system. So you'll be able to have your username, not your real name. And Kareem and Wales Only were giving me the idea of, I guess, making it optional for you to put your Hex League in there. So are you a shark or a squid or a turtle or a shy shell? You might want to show off. You might not. Either way is cool. So we'll be doing a lot of special things to, have all the bells and whistles for you for that. So go ahead and join t.me/hexmeet for the updates. MEET. The chat is cool too, t.me/hexmeetup. But if you want to know what's going on with the room reservations, the flights, right, and everything in between, then you're going to need to be subscribed to that channel and you're going to need to turn notifications on. Don't worry, I'm not going to blow up your Telegram. So go ahead and get in there. And we'll make sure all the organization happens to have the most epic meetup ever in HEX until next year when we do it again. And when we have a physical conference, there's a lot to look forward to. Let's do it. Elevated 1000X. News Arvo. Sorry, I always mess up how to pronounce it. Let's see. Whoa, lots of people commenting. Look, the gang's here. Hex King, Korean Investor. Hey, how's it going? Counting down the weeks till Vegas. Me too. Yeah. Love and Hex. Maddie, ALLin Pulse Chain. That's right. Hey, Whales Only. I was just saying you're going to be a guest on the show tonight. Once we go over the topic for the day, then you're bringing a topic that I'm sure is going to be fascinating. The world in 2020. Good to see you. I haven't seen you since last year. DC Maverick, howdy. Hey, Archie. Hector the Protector. All right, guys, this is my second or third week without caffeine. So I'm probably going to still be just as excited to hear from everybody. Corey, thank you for the 202 cheer. I appreciate it. Hector the Protector, cheering with 100 bits. Thank you. Can you read through the notes you put together yesterday? I want to clean them up a little bit, but maybe there might be a way for me to share a link, like a preview link. Yeah, I'm going to work on that. Hit the likes. Thanks, Kinetics. I like you too. And I hit the likes on your streams. So let's see. Ballet Brand saying hi to everybody. David Feeder in the house. What's going on, David? It's been a while since we streamed together. Oh, thank you, Kinetics. You're too kind. Ready to play Heads Up in Vegas. That's what's up. Thank you all for being my inspiration, for putting in the work. I really enjoyed and get a lot out of it. Sammy Chica, what's going on? It's not every day that people out there have a stream with Richard Hart that's coming up on the last Friday of the month. So that's definitely something to look forward to in the Discourse Syndicate Ladies Takeover. Let's see. People throwing up the hex symbol bit by bit. Bitcoiner even. I wore my Bitcoin shirt yesterday on Quant Gang. That was a good episode. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Playing for encapsulated stakes. Yeah, when we're in Vegas, you can write down your scene words and hand them out to people. Don't do that. This is not security advice or therapy advice or financial advice. These are financial commands, as Nagabo would say. Have you guys been watching Nagabo? He's having adventures in Mexico, making short videos that are really exciting. He's going to get his XRP unstuck from Coinbase, and then he's probably going to sell it for HEX because he's still a HEX lover. Yes. Dr. Moore, how's it going? Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to each other. Vegas, that's right, Papa B. I liked your trolling of Richard Hart. It brought me lots of laughs. And then the recap on Wake Up Hex this morning on Discourse Syndicate. Oh, Kinetics, how are you doing? How was your procedure? Dolphin Baby, yeah. Eventbrite, all right. Yeah, that's what I'm using. I'm using Eventbrite. But they like hold the funds. They're doing this like squirrely thing where they hold the funds until the event happens. And so I'm like, how are you? And they're saying it's because of the Wu flu. And I'm just like, why are you like, how are you supposed to have an event and not be able to collect any money, but all the money is collected? It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to have to get creative on that one and probably issue a ticket for the ticket or something like that. We'll outsmart them at Eventbrite. They're not so bright at Eventbrite, but they have a really good platform. So I'm not going to lie. Okay. Valiant Brand, the most positive person in HEX. Really hard worker. Lucky to have him. Thank you, Brand. HEX Changers Conference was great. Now we've got Vegas. Awesome. Well, thank you. I enjoy your streams as well. And are you guys streaming? I think you guys are streaming tonight, right? For your makeup episode of Crypto Knights of the Roundtable. I hope so, because I'm going through withdrawals, shaken, because I haven't seen the episode from this week yet. Hope you guys will onboard tons of rich people in Vegas. No more gambling. Stake HEX. Well, I guess there's no better time than now anyway to announce that with the t-shirt design, we are wanting to put a big old QR code on the back of the shirt. And that way people, you know, if they're not feeling brave enough to like run up to us and ask us what we're doing there, the QR code will link to a blog that explains, maybe like a blog video type thing, hex.com, of course, but it'll explain what we're doing there in Vegas. Maybe even link to people can jump in the HEX crypto chat or something and be like, oh, now they're part of our community. We got them, you know? And I think it will be a big onboarding event, but I think that little touch, it could go a long way. Because if I saw a crew of 300 of the finest crypto meetup people of all time, they were all wearing some awesome matching shirt and, super excited, having good energy the whole time, excited to meet up with each other after building relationships for a year and a half online. I would definitely FOMO into like scanning the QR code on the back of the shirt, right? So that's just me. Let's see. Try the voice chat again. I got it worked out, so I'm gonna share how to do that with other streamers, and we'll make it happen. I don't have it set up for now. It was kind of clunky. I should have muted myself when Marcavelli was talking, but we proved it works, so that's good. Airfare to Vegas. Wait, I already FOMO'd in early at the strat. There you go. Perfect. Airfare to Vegas is going up just like T-share price. That's right. And so we know the dates. The dates are good. If you're a cutthroat, you need to check the chat there to make sure you know what your responsibilities are before you book a flight. And then, Thursday, June 24th through the 27th. Some people will come in early. Some people will stay late. Everybody will be there in the middle. And we're still waiting on the 10% discount codes. If you want to book your lodging, you can. You can stay anywhere you want in the Telegram t.me/hexmeet. That's where you can find a link to the Twitter announcement where you can find the portal and you can compare between all the different MGM properties, which are like 7 or 8 properties on the Strip. Headquarters 1 will be at Bellagio because it looks out over the HEX restaurant, and because it's centrally located. Headquarters 2 will be Excalibur because if you put an H in the front of it, it sounds even better. And they have much more affordable rates on the weekends. $120 a night for a room. You could split the cost with someone else or fly solo. You could even stay in Sin City Hostel like I did once upon a time. Get a room for $20-$30, almost the same price as the Uber is going to take to get to the Strip. So we're trying to support everybody here and make it a good time. I wanted to get a custom football jersey with Tarnwig across the back and a hex in the front. Do it. I support that. Serena Alonzi, how's it going? Good to see you. So many hearts. Hopefully international flights open up soon. I hope so too. Hit the likes. Sup Hexicans. Let's see. I'm going to catch up here and then we're going to get into the topic. Can you add to yesterday's notes? A free claim tool for people bleeding out stakes. Ooh, a free claim tool. Message me on Telegram. I'll add it if you message me. I don't want to interrupt the flow of the show right now. We got a bunch of fine people watching who are here to learn about the top 10 habits of highly wealthy people. And the first thing you're seeing is proof of community. Spoiler alert, crypto is involved in causing you to become suddenly wealthy or highly wealthy, however you want it. Pick your own wealth. Pick your own wealth syndrome. Nuz. All right. Perfect. Full Russian word after all. Excellent. Michael Hex. Greetings. Let's see. Hearts from Sammy Chica. Nuz. Getting from EU to US is hard. To join Vegas sucks that the world is so big. We'll do some special streams to try to include everybody. And we'll do our best there. Oh, people keep commenting. I thought David Feeder unstaked himself. It's been so long. He certainly has not. This is Gaines advice. That's right. Naga's super cool. What's going on, Hodl Dog? Yeah, I watch your stream too. and it was great. Thank you for all the work you do. It's kind of early for us to leave and fly to the USA. Well, you'll be there in spirit and in stream, and maybe you'll be there if they open the borders. You know what? I mean, I would send Naga $15 or $30 worth of XRP so he could get his $9,000 out so he could buy more HEX, or just because I'm a fan. But I think the XRP people are going to help him. But it is ironic. It's like, just read the comments. You'll know. Is there going to be a raffle drawing at the Vegas meetup? I'm not sure. Thanks for asking. I'll look into it. Let's see. Bonjour, Hexicans. Kinetics. I'm glad you're here. Proof that you're alive and you're sore right now. The morphine is great. Excellent. We'll get you there. To the next Hex meetup. Use GoFundMe. What percentage do they take? Eventbrite only takes 3.5% to process the transactions. That's really nice. Maybe I can just trick Eventbrite, because their ticketing system is going to allow us to collect like all the information we need about your username and all kinds of other stuff that can either add, to your anonymity. That's my goal, or to just add to how we can not feature. We want to have name tags. We want to know what to put on them. We need all the data. We need all the choices that I would want to choose, other people would want to choose, people, for example, people can voluntarily say where they're staying. Then we'll have kind of an idea of where the epicenter is. People can voluntarily say what flight they're coming in on. And then we might have a team of volunteers set up by our Hexican army in Vegas who are natives. And then they will even be able to meet people at the airport and greet you and show you where to go and just have a totally awesome experience. So, but I want to respect people's privacy, and I want to make the event perfect. Let's see. Yes, quarantine. Maybe we'll be able to host a meetup in EU. Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. I'm not going to be able to join them tonight, but I'll be on the next one for sure. Awesome. QR code. Thank you. Yeah. Hexamac, how's it going? Good to see you. Really good idea. The QR thing on the coat or on the shirt. Awesome. Let's see. Stay locked up. Yeah, that's no good. What's going on, Stylus? Yeah, I think being locked away for 10 days, that's not as fun. Just jumping in here. Did someone say Vegas? That's right. Let's see. Rewind and then watch on double speed. Wonder if I should make a hospitality room. Yeah, do whatever you want, Get creative. Tons of penalties today. That's right. Moon Man Maddie. Decentral Life Crypto. That's right. Pretty cheap. Yeah, that's for sure. Already liked on all my other whats. I'm driving. Can help with transportation. Oh, awesome. Very good. Still got that slow eventual wealth syndrome. Well, that's not a bad syndrome to have. Berlin upgrade sucks balls. That's right. We're never doing a meetup in Berlin. You ruined it, Vitalik. You ruined it for the whole city. I mean, we still like Germany because we got German Hexicans, but they even left. Let's see. They left like Germany so that they could be perpetual travelers because Hex is so awesome it made them suddenly wealthy. Suddenly perpetual travelers. Maybe I'll pop over to Macau to hit the baccarat tables to just pretend I'm in Vegas. There's an idea. You're not sharing screen. Okay. Well, let me get down to it. Let me see. All right. Drum roll, please. This is going to be like an episode of David Letterman. David Letterman Live. The Late Show with David Letterman and Maddie ALLin. Top 10 habits of highly wealthy people. You know what I did? I prepared this episode, as I often do, with a beautiful thumbnail. I'll take a bow, not to show my receding hairline, but I based it on this. I like this guy. He's a good writer. He's a financial writer. Tim Denning. He's got like all the followers on Medium that you'd ever want. And he wrote this article, so it inspired me. Financially super smart people have 8 things in common. I understand the clickbait, and there he goes with the perfect, teaser at the beginning. Steve Jobs isn't my idol. All right, I want to know more. He's lots of people's idol. Then he pulls out this random quote that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, this guy, I've watched I think I've seen him on a podcast. And he talked about his process for writing, because he's like one of the top writers in Medium, writes about finance. And he says he knocks out these articles like 2-3 a day, which is super impressive. It took me like 3 months to write my best article, which is linked to below. 3G crypto HEX fixes mental health. So yeah, I'm impressed. He's a super good dude. But this is what I based the episode around. And then I looked, and there's like not really that much awesome stuff here. So I decided to make my own list. Like, stay away from meme assets, bro. Have you seen the price of Doge lately? It's like 10 or 12 cents. You could take all that money and put it in HEX. So, I mean, I'm not sure all of this advice really checks out. I mean, of course, in HEX, we stay away from memes that aren't HEX because we're in the highest appreciating asset in 2020. Getting paid trustless interest, 40% to stake for 5.5 years. Not bad. Actually, it's phenomenal. Questioning Wall Street. Yep, did it. Did lots of episodes on it. Financially curious. All right, that made my list. That's cool. And like, if somebody told you Bitcoin is dumb, they're dumb. You should call them dumb. Doesn't matter if you stoop to their level. Like, yeah. Being financially curious. Not too curious, but just curious enough, right? To learn. Having a thirsty mind for knowledge. Okay. I think wealth is a concept of the mind. Well, that's a cool idea, bro. Like, back it up with something. How much money makes you rich? Who knows? For Jeff Bezos, it's billions of dollars and counting. For my friend at work, it was enough to buy a small farm in the middle of nowhere. Okay, cool. Yeah, have a small ego. Like, all right, I'll cover that better on my list. Spot a selfish incentive a mile away. All right, that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. They think in 3-year chunks. Okay, yeah, that's cool, bro. If like you can't imagine the future 5 years from now because you're such a technology pleb, you don't realize. Like, you already said Bitcoin was cool, so I know you're gonna love HEX. I know you're gonna write about it eventually. Like, after I get in all my people and all the people in Vegas, like all the other people, then you can come into HEX. How about that? Like, Tim Denning, if you're listening, I know you are. Don't start writing about HEX yet. I'm still accumulating, bro. So like, yeah, get people to think in 3-year chunks. That's how you stake less than the average and how you pay a little, nice little inflation. We like to call 3.69% to the stakers because you could not delay gratification long enough and you couldn't be sure enough on something that is not a sure thing, but it is a financial fact. HEX pays you in HEX. What do you want to get paid in? I want to get paid in HEX because the dollar gets more stale every year. And, they try to erase inflation. I mean, we talked about this before. They try to weasel their way out of it by cooking the books, keeping the price of bread low because they got all these genetically modified corn stocks. I know that corn doesn't make bread, but you get the point. Genetically modified wheat, whatever it is, you can keep the price of bread low. But when you look at healthcare and education and, like Hanes V-neck t-shirts in all black, the inflation on that's like 200%. If you can even find them, it's called supply and demand. Like you can play all these games pretending like this supply stuff. Like I don't want any undershirts. All right, people. I don't want white undershirts. Then I have to do white loads. I don't want white loads. Do you want white loads?
What's up, man?
I want black V-neck Hanes undershirts. And the Fed is fucking that up.
They're fucking everything up, bro. Everything.
You could pay me in those, but like I still prefer to earn my interest in HEX. Like,
yes, sir. Every day, all day.
So we're gonna skip over like thinking in 3-year chunks because I think the audience here knows better. Is a little bit more advanced than that. Than
yes, sir.
All these.
I have to agree.
And then they're normies. Okay, like I like that. You don't have to have $1 billion. You could spend your time doing better things other than just making money. Like you could stake HEX and then have all your time. And they do cool stuff with money. I really love this. I had no idea that Dave Portnoy did anything helpful for other people. He seems like a tool, but
yeah.
I mean, if he pretended to help struggling small businesses, then good for him, I guess. But I don't think that's his character. He sold his Bitcoin. I mean, he's not that smart.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know much about him, but what I do know is when he became quote unquote famous on the legacy side, it was only because sports betting was becoming legalized, or it was being considered to become legalized at the time. And something had happened with his books. Oh, it was after COVID first popped off. So he had no community. There was no more sports. So there was no more sports betting.
Oh, okay.
So that's how he got into day trading stocks. And that's what brought him some fame from that point in time. That's how he became famous. That's what I remember.
Teleporting out of your own selfish prison into a whole new world. And doing meaningful things with your money to help others. We love that. That's a great final point there. And so now we're going to run through my article, which I already like better than Tim Denning's article because it's got a diamond and a hex gradient going in the title. It says, "Crypto will change the world. Take the win." That's the subtitle. So since we got whales, I mean, you could help me elaborate on some of these points if you want.
Sure. My pleasure.
I just threw this together before the stream.
Usually how it works. Don't worry.
1, start early. It's never too late.
Fact.
I mean, the more time you have on your side, then either the more you're going to get sucked into day trading and like lose all your money, or maybe you'll learn the right strategy by paying attention to the rest of the points. And then you'll have more time to have compound interest work in your favor. The 9th wonder of the world.
It's funny. People look for investments so that they can compound their money. But they don't realize that that's the whole objective, and I talk about that all the time because it's very, very true. Like all people are doing are looking for a series of trades that are going to give them, right, like outsized returns in chunks, right? Like that's really what people are looking for, but they don't understand that that's fleeting. That's very hard to find. The market doesn't really generate returns in that fashion. It only does so in spurts.
Yes.
So what that means is that it's only going to happen, maybe 5% of the time, maybe 20% of the time at most, right? And the rest of the 80% is going to be singles, base hits, and sideways action. That's the rest of the 80% of the market price movement that we get versus the little bit of time where it's like going up fast or it's going down fast. So that's why, prioritizing increasing income over decreasing expenses and like things like that, right? Like they sound like kind of trite, but they are all tied to the same thing. And that's like minimizing your downside. And that's what it's all about because that's the only way. It's all about what you keep,
Yep.
right? And that's the thing. It's very easy to forget that because that's why people run around chasing pump and dumps. They get caught in the trap.
Yep. Yeah. And so, I don't know. I kind of put these in a certain order. I tried to. So starting early, but it's also never too late. So, you are where you are in life when you're hearing this, whatever age you are. So, don't delay, right? Don't procrastinate on the rest of these steps. Number two, increase the financial literacy of yourself is what I started with. And then I put and your loved ones because your finances may be affected by the people you involve in your life. What do you think?
Well, I mean, it's true, right? I think with money, you have to consider the responsibilities that come with it. It's a tool. And that's something that took me a while to figure out because, we spend a lot of time chasing money, but we don't
Yeah.
understand that chasing is only going to do but so much because then what? Right. It
Well,
reminds me of like when I finally networked my way into my first job on Wall Street. That shit didn't even matter because then I had to perform. Right.
wow.
I got in the seat, but then what?
Uh-huh.
It didn't mean anything. And until I found myself in that position, I didn't get it. I
Mm.
thought just getting the job meant something. It didn't mean shit. You know what I mean?
Dang.
Because if I wanted to keep the motherfucker, guess what? I had to learn how to perform. And
Yeah.
that was the next step. So, getting the money is easy. Keeping it is the hard part. And that's
Mm.
why, that's why I said what I said, everything ties together. Again, uh, financial literacy is something, right? Like that's almost non existent in America and the
Correct.
world, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. Most people just don't know anything about money, and that's why it's fleeting for most people.
And people aren't interested.
hmm but that's because of the stigma around it. They don't
I
understand
think
that
so too.
that's a psyop, and they don't even see it.
I think so too.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. It
And so
definitely. I mean, it's
breaking that cognitive barrier that's been placed in your mind for you, courtesy of Uncle Sam and the U.S. government, um, I think is it's crucial to be thinking. Get interested in money because it's going to be less work. Do you want
mm,
to work harder or smarter, right? And that's what it comes down to in my mind.
correct, 100%. I mean, it took me a while to realize the difference, but once you do, you realize there is no other way. Any other way is foolish.
Yeah.
It's like, why would you pick up a rock with a rope when you have a dozer?
Yes.
Right? That makes no sense. But people do that. People do that.
Stop picking up rocks in front of freight trains and buying
Yo,
steak hacks.
word. Stop picking up rocks instead of freight trains is a good one. Because that's basically what's going on. I mean, we were talking about this yesterday. We just got paid 6 HEX per T-share, right? At whatever price at the crossover. Like, you just bought the dip.
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
That's being financially smart
yeah,
because you didn't even have to do anything to get those extra hex. You just bought more hex at 1.88, whatever the price was. Congratulations, man. And you didn't even have to do anywhere. And people don't realize that that's what they're doing when they own hex.
yeah, yeah. It's like you've said before about like, it's kind of like owning a business or something that
That's right.
just
It's a cash flow positive asset, baby. You just made
yeah,
some gains. Paper gains for now, but gains that go on the balance sheet because that's a physical item. It's not like it's just something that's on the books. No, you have the increased asset base. This is what just happened, right? So then now the gains are going to be multiplied by that asset base, and that's the difference here. It's not like with a regular fixed income asset in legacy side, where you're just receiving that interest. Here, it's the hex, which is an asset itself, because that hex is going to generate more hex, and on top of that, that hex is going to go up in value because the dollar is going to go down. So it's like you can't lose, bro.
yeah, yeah, and it's like when in the history of humanity has there been a business that didn't take any time to manage and all your employees showed up on time, ran everything perfectly and didn't lose money and didn't become a zombie corporation that's
Yeah,
losing
word.
money like 50% of the market? Like when?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's like we traveled back in time.
I know, right?
But this is great stuff because understanding money and the capacity that it has is important. Because money does not buy happiness, but it sure as hell helps you find the path to the motherfucker because you solve a lot of problems. And eliminating problems eliminates stress. And eliminating stress is the easiest path, right, to finding happiness. But happiness is also self-determining. You love talking about all that all the time too. So
Yeah, and I've been thinking more deeply about that. And I think it's something that I heard Richard say. I made a note of it. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, people are stupid about money because they don't have money, so they're financially stressed, and financial stress makes it hard to think.
does makes you make stupid decisions because you're thinking about right now, not realizing the long-term implications of your decision.
Yeah.
Sad fact. Nature of the beast, though.
But thank God for Hex being invented.
Oh yeah,
Makes things go simpler and less stressful.
yeah, but that's the whole thing, right? With financial literacy, if you don't have it, you don't realize that that's what Hex does. And that's what people don't understand. So all those people that are hating on Hex are financially illiterate. Hint, hint.
Yeah. Do you think that Hex will spread financial literacy or just make it like just solve the problem without?
It's gonna spread financial literacy because people are gonna realize, why the hell would I buy something that does nothing for me?
I think people will buy it and then like on average, I think people will buy it and then they'll come to understand it better.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I think will happen over time too, because it's a process. For the average person, it's gonna be a process because the average person isn't gonna jump in and do all the shit I did.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yeah.
for me the process was a little different because I was trying to figure out like where's the value. That's what I was trying to figure out the whole time. And when I realized what I wasn't seeing, it was only after realizing I didn't fully understand everything. And that was really only after the conference.
Yeah.
Because the conference, it was so much that I realized I didn't know. And I was like, holy smokes. All right. And that's when I really sat down and started messing around. And then when we was getting that dip, I was just motivated by the FUD to buy the dip with that timing of that video, really. And if you look at the date on that video, we haven't been that low since.
Yeah.
Since that first video on January 29th. That was the bottom. Because people got to understand, man, this shit is all math. No matter what you want to feel or think, doesn't matter. It is what it is. And it is math. And once people grasp that simple concept and they realize that, hey, Once you eliminate the negatives from the pot grows faster. HEX becomes a very easy no-brainer. And that's what financial literacy is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's really about opportunity cost, right?
Yeah.
If you're taking $100,000 and you're splitting it in two, you're taking 50 G's, dumping it in a cash flow positive scenario, and you're taking 50 G's and dumping it in something that might or might not turn a dime, might or might not. It's not a business. It's not anything. It's a fucking flip of the coin. And this is what people do not understand. It really is a flip of the coin because, say, for example, you, instead of buying spot, buy on margin. What then? You're going to get liquidated. No doubt about it.
Yep. Scamwick.
Yeah.
It's coming for your life savings.
And you know people, they're slick. So that's what they're going to do.
Yep. Now, another way to...
But question, wouldn't you call that being financially illiterate?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, part of the problem, I think, is that people get a shallow experience in their financial education.
Oh, for sure.
And it comes from a biased media, and the influencers are bought and paid for, right? And the people who are making the content are so starved because they're addicted to the shit too. And
yeah, they kind of gotta be, right, for dollars and shit.
Yeah. And so you get into this. What it really is I think a tragedy of the commons when it comes to the financial education of the country. And I might even go so far as to say that the education is intentionally rigged by the ultra wealthy, because why isn't Bill Gates helping to increase financial education, right? Like,
yeah, it's plenty of money to do so. That's for sure.
I don't think he is. I think,
no, he's not. Nobody is. All you gotta do is look.
We would know. Yeah, we would know because
they're doing way more in that regard than anybody on the planet. That's a fact.
Yeah. And so you have to have Bitcoin come along and suck in a bunch of people who are on the fringes, and then have them buy into something that changes over time or doesn't develop what it needs to. I mean, programmable money could have been so cool if Bitcoin didn't say, hey, let's not program it.
Imagine that.
And that's what it came down to with the black space. I mean, it's
yeah, it's crazy.
It was
and you know what the funny thing is, most people don't really know that.
Decided it. Yeah. There was once people in the government discovered that it was something that couldn't be stopped, then they had to hack it socially by hacking the people, right?
Social engineering.
Yep. And then that helps us understand what crypto really is, which is a socially enforced, decentralized network.
It's a socially enforced system. That's right.
Yeah. And that's what money is, because that's how you get to trade economic energy.
It's funny. I've been getting a lot of questions lately, and one of the questions I've been asked is what do you think your best video is? And, random questions like that. Which one video would you recommend the most? Blah, blah, blah. And I think the video, and I really didn't have an answer for that question at the time, but I've been thinking about it a lot lately. And I think that one is really, that video I would recommend people watch so they can really understand what they're doing when they're allocating capital is Let's Talk Value, which I think it was episode 2. Because people really need to understand, there's a reason the Muni socks cost $80,000 a pair, right? It's because people think that shit makes sense when it doesn't. Because at the end of the day, they're just motherfucking socks. That's a tulip scenario. I don't give a fuck if there's 40 of them. You know what I'm saying? That shit is dumb as fuck. It's socks.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Hard money, my ass. Those are fucking socks. What the fuck are you talking about?
Sorry, Firebun. He's wearing them.
I mean, if you own it, it's cool. But understand what you own is my point.
So, people who bought them or held them or something got airdropped a shitload of uni tokens too, just
Yeah, I
for the
mean,
socks.
good for them, man. I mean,
But
good for them for
but
sure.
but why is it trading now? Like what? Last time I checked, I think it was over 100,000 or something crazy. Like now I'm curious. Now I have to look. You know, I was trying
Look it
not to.
up.
$95,000.
Wow, nothing. The
Wait,
last time I saw it, wait, that's the price of socks?
uni socks.
Yeah,
$95,000
Yo, the last
USD.
time I looked at it was like 2 days ago. It was 81,000.
It went up. It went up to 163.
Yo, there's no way Hex is going to fucking $1. You're all stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, Unisocks is up 1000x. 1000x from $86. Yeah. And the supply increased by one pair? Like what? I don't understand this at all. This isn't like last time
Like,
I
what
checked
the
it was
fuck is
314.
this?
Are they like dripping socks out of somewhere? Like one every 3 months or something.
Shit. Yo, man, I don't have words, bro. But look, I get the whole hard money thing, right? But this isn't money. This is socks, right? And that's the
Yes.
whole point. People place value on the things they want to place value on. And this is what people do not understand. And this is why I'm telling people, you sit here, act like you don't understand how to read if you want. But when a motherfucker sees that 40% number, they're going to fucking do the math themselves without using a calculator, using some bullshit, and they're going to see, my God, these numbers don't make no sense. I'm buying this shit right now.
Yeah.
Just like I did. Because I'm not a dummy, and neither is anybody else that has 2 cents. Right? Because people that have 2 cents are looking to make 4. And that's a fact. And that's kind of a big topic on the night. But, you know, let's keep going because this list is so good. It's very good because, well, it's important.
Yeah, it is.
It's very
And
important.
It's almost as important as the new coin I'm launching, Uni Hanes Black V-necks, black package of 3.
Hold on. It's a 3-pack. One for you, one for me, one for Kareem.
That's
you
right.
guys get to trade the coins on the network, and that's it. We actually keep the collab.
We get the shirts, you get the coins.
Exactly. Oh my God, that's a fucking winner, right?
Yeah. Hashtag inflation.
Oh my God, too funny, man. That was too funny.
Find smart people to listen to while you're doing other activities.
Right.
This is something I heard, like, you know, you can be listening to a podcast whenever you're working out or doing some other like activity that, you know, you can be listening to a podcast with. You're saving time and you're increasing your efficiency. I forget who I heard that from. But
I mean, it's funny when I used to be able to run with headphones before I realized I just couldn't because I sweat too much. I used to listen to podcasts, books, and all that. But yeah, you do get a lot more quicker, right? Because it's that learning through osmosis. Even if you're not really focusing in on it, the subconscious does record that information. And that's just how the brain works. Even when you're not, you know, like I can listen to 2 songs at the same time now because I understand how the brain works. So it's not that off kilter for me to sit in that kind of environment. But at first, bro, you know, it didn't make sense. But when you sit there and you deal with, like, I even meditate nowadays, believe it or not. And it's just one of those things, man. You have to expand the mind. You have to. It's the only way.
What style of meditation do you use?
I don't know the names, bro. I just do like the short, you know, 3-minute, just refresh, reset the mind, and boom, I'm good. If I try to do like more than 5 minutes, I don't know. It gets a little hairy for me because I'm very active. So,
okay,
yeah, I'm trying to work my way up. It's rough. It's rough, but it's good because it does feel like you reset, recharged. It works. So if you've never done meditation, search YouTube, like the shortest one you think you can do it. You'll be surprised. I was. Shit fucked me up.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was surprising. The proof is in the pudding always, So.
That's right.
hmm hmm
Um, let's see. And I can say that the different types of meditation, I guess, that I'm mildly familiar with. You can have guided meditation where you're listening to somebody with hopefully a soothing voice.
Right.
And then they're telling you like what to imagine or how to
Breathe,
let your mind rest,
relax.
breathe,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. There's the breathing types of meditation where you're trying to
Man.
calm your mind, clear your mind, focus on a specific thing. I use some audio tapes in my therapy where it's mindfulness meditation for anxiety. And so it's actually teaching people how to breathe and calm themselves down, and then how to focus on anxious thoughts, and then dial down the anxiety. So,
It's funny. I know some people that have issues with anxiety, like they like to stress themselves out for no reason. And I like try to explain to them, like, look, you're doing it to yourself. You don't even realize it. And it's like you point it out. And it's like no matter how you point it out, they like deflect, because it's like they rather be stressed. It's crazy. Some people just rather be in that state. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy. He's this famous trader. His name is Ed Sakota. And he's like very famous for his trading psychology quotes. And he has this one quote. And it's so true. You're going to love it. You're going to think about this quote for fucking... Look, I'm still thinking about it. And I heard this quote probably like 12 years ago when I read it in the book. Yeah. And the quote goes, we all get what we want from the market. And the reality is that we all get what we want from life. He just said the market, but he really means the life. Now, what does that mean? Now, it took me a long time to really sit there and think about it, but it really applies to everything. And why is that? The reason is because we always act in accordance with our best interests, no matter what. Mm-hmm. So whether we fuck up, lose money, whatever it is we do, that's what we ultimately wanted, because otherwise we would have made the alternate choice. So you never have anybody to be mad at but your damn self. Yeah. And that's what trading has taught me. That's why HEX is so easy for me. Because it makes the decision easy. Always win. Duh.
Yeah. I like having a moment of clarity and then like debating myself on what my next move should be. And then just like getting inspired by listening to our Quant Gang streams or the HEX audio chat or whatever it is. And then I've built my conviction so I can have my next moment of clarity. And so it's just, that's all it takes is to not take action when you're unsure and to take action when you are.
Exactly.
And find smart people to listen to. For sure. For me, it's when I'm streaming, I find smart people to listen to, right?
I think you always have to find a way to just break the mold. Like the dumbest thing, you just anything. And like looking at the most basic things, like looking at this, like this is stuff I already know, but it's things that you don't really keep at the front of your mind that are important to go over.
Yes.
Pass over. Make sure you understand them. Make sure you're exercising them, because again, we always get what we want, and if we're not acting in accordance with what we want, we're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is, right? This is why emergency end staking is so critical. And today was a true case in that. Like, we all got paid because of that. So, we got to keep that kind of thing in mind. I mean, it's very, very, very important to understand your capacity and understand that there are others with more capacity than you. Like, this is why we listen to Richard. This is why Richard finds the capacity to listen to us, right? Like, it takes a big person to be able to do that, knowing he's creating some shit for everybody else. But he knows, like, all right, well, you guys can put some input here to a certain degree, so let's get it, right? And that's important because that gives everybody the opportunity, and nobody can say, hey, like Kareem said yesterday, I didn't say, oh, I didn't have the chance. Oh, well, you didn't take the opportunity to make the time to submit your suggestion. Like, we can't have that. That's on you.
Yeah.
So, you can't be mad. Sit down, think about it, and put it on the table. And right now is the time for that with respect to posts. So, this is why finding smart people to listen to when you're doing other activities is key. You just never know where your next idea is going to come from. There's a reason Lex Friedman is so popular. It's not because he's a one-trick pony, because he's not. You know what I mean? And that's very important to understand. That's the reason why. You're allowing people to educate themselves in many different fields, many different interview styles, many different frames of thought, right? Mm-hmm. Over different periods of time. People are going to want to listen into that. That's why he's so popular. I mean, it's a no-brainer, bro. You know what I mean? Like, like, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, and the more people he interviews, the more clout he's going to have, the more people are going to want to listen in. So it's a self-perpetuating cycle. So when you think about that and you realize that you're extracting value from that, why wouldn't you find a way to continue to do that same behavior? Because ultimately, you're going to find yourself in a position that's going to be so beneficial. You didn't even realize it was happening, but it just happened because your actions are acting in accordance with that. I mean, it's crazy. That's how life works. It really does work like that. This is how luck presents itself, right? This is how you make your own luck. You don't need to find it. It finds you. And that's just by doing number 3 more than anything else, really. I think, because that's what I've done.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way I can talk how I talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that goes for all of us, man. I mean, you got some knowledge to drop all the time. It's crazy. Everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's because both of us, we have plenty of value to add because we've been seeking value from listening to people and
it's a must, bro. It's
educating ourselves. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. That reminds me, at some point during this stream, we need to go over a super interesting idea that somebody submitted yesterday during our stream that was way too long to fit in the comments section. I went back and looked at it after the stream, and it's seems like a pretty cool idea.
I saw. He sent it to me. Somebody sent it to me for him. I haven't been able to read it yet. I plan to.
Okay. Because it's really good. Like, I want to upvote it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, and I want to get other people's thoughts on it too. So
very nice.
That, here, better keep going with this show because we got so much good content. It's
it's impossible.
Get covered.
It's impossible. People are starting to complain. It's too much good content. Well, sorry.
Yeah, not sorry. Prioritize increasing income over decreasing expenses. Yeah, I mean, get paid more, and some expenses are hard to decrease. Like, I'm not going to unsubscribe from ad-free YouTube, right, to save $8 a month or $20 a month or whatever. Like, if I need more money, I'm going to earn more, right, by increasing income. So
pretty much, it's so much easier. It's so much easier than people think. It's crazy.
I do get coupons to go to the gym for free. That's pretty cool. So I am living more modestly, delaying not in that case delaying gratification, but I'm aware of my budget. Like, I've done a written budget before, and I have eliminated subscriptions that I didn't want hanging over me. And actually, come to think of it, I do have a reminder every month on my phone, and it says cancel YouTube. And it's like, I'm not going to do that, but it just puts me in the mindset of I need to make sure I'm not subscribed to stuff I don't need.
Right. I mean, that's the key, right? I did a whole stream on that, right? Like, that shit is important. Maintaining your costs, maintaining your cash flow is a part of that. I mean, if you don't minimize your expenses, you don't have any positive cash flow, period.
Yeah.
Right. So that's number one. Number one is always making sure you're not overspending money. Like, that's the most critical thing. Like, it's so easy for people to blow money on shit they don't even realize. Like I do it all the time on food because I rather not cook.
Yeah.
But that's one area I'm willing to spend the money in because it saves me the time. You see? So it's a balance that I'm willing to pay for because otherwise I can't find the time. So that's the sacrifice I have to make. But in other areas, I won't do that. You see? So it's knowing what you're willing to make that sacrifice with when you have to make that sacrifice. I don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
But, when you have to.
Good example. Very good.
Right. Because there are times where we can't cook.
Let's see. So we've got delaying gratification, writing down a budget, living more modestly. A-Bit, he's in the chat here. He quit smoking tobacco cigarettes so he could buy more HEX. And then he converted like a closet that he had in a building that he owns into a living quarters. And he ate the same thing every day for like a year and rented out his living space as an Airbnb and just accumulated such a massive amount of HEX. Now he's retired and just traveling the world.
Living the life that we all wish we could
live. He's learning Spanish now as we speak.
Small pain, big gain.
I'm not speaking in Spanish right now, but I know you can.
Yeah, I can speak some Spanish.
How did you learn Spanish?
It's my first language.
Oh, wow.
English is actually my second language, believe it or not. Just a firstborn American, so different kind of household. So that's that. Oh, cool. For sure.
Yeah, before you know it, A-Bit will be able to communicate with you even better than he could now.
His Spanish has improved over the videos. I don't know if you've caught that.
Yeah. I didn't think about it until now.
Well, I mean, I have the ear, so it's easy for me to catch it. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, he's in the chat. Yeah, for sure.
There he is. Who else wants to retire and travel?
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, I know. That's why we're gonna have like HEX meetups around the world for sure. Let's see. So, start enjoyable side hustles based on your hobbies or interests. That might be bad advice. Just like starting a business might be bad advice. But in some cases, it's good advice. So I don't know if we need to debate it too much here, but those are things that some people do to get wealthy. I know Funding Jim and Richard Hart are always talking about, you want to own your time, and you don't do that by working for an hourly wage unless you're using part of that hourly wage to create something, to store value or to create value in a way that is going to be more sustainable. And in HEX, it's the passive income that we earn. And in other cases, it's a business, right, that somehow survives after COVID. So good. Yeah. The reason why I put an asterisk verbally on these things is because a lot of times when you take money away from crypto and you try to put it into your own business, then the business has no possibility of outperforming crypto because crypto gets part of its mad gains from adoption, and people aren't going to be adopting your business as much as they're going to be adopting like a new form of money. Correct. That's got a lot of hype behind it. And there's a really low marginal cost of creating money out of thin air, magic internet money. So like, it's hard to compete with that. So in some cases, you don't want to compete with that. You just want to invest in HEX.
Pretty much.
In other cases,
yeah, I feel like I could try to like create a business, right? Create value or whatever, but this is so much easier.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool to do too, don't get me wrong, and I probably will, but I just gotta think about it. But this is so much easier. It's like, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that kind of brings up like the point of, do you really want to quit your job? At what point, like at what point in HEX do you quit your job? Is it when you earn more from HEX than you would from your job, but now you're missing out because we're all still so early?
Right.
Do you, maybe do you take another job that would be more enjoyable for you and then you can still earn income and live off of your income and not your savings?
Right.
Or at what point, if you're earning 100 times in HEX what you would earn in a day, like that's not me. Like, no, I wish, like,
But
hopefully at some
people.
point, but every person's going to answer that question differently. And then they're going to have to find their labor of love in retirement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Richard does.
What up, Bala? Where the hell you at, bro? You ain't on Twitter right now. Hiding and shit. Oh, man.
Care about more in life than money, such as helping others. Cool. Richard does that too.
I mean, that adds value. I mean, we're doing it right now.
For real.
This is why I stream. I already know all this shit. I don't need to stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do it for everybody else. I don't need to do it.
Learn how to regulate your emotions and improve your prefrontal cortex by taking omega-3 and clicking on the link. Someday it'll be a referral link. For now, it's just a regular Amazon link. And time lock your money in HEX, the best cryptocurrency in existence. That's an easy one.
That's the easy part.
Yeah.
But you got to get through all those other parts before you can get to that easy part.
Yes.
It's a process.
Correct.
It's a process.
Let's see. These numbers are probably so out of date.
Oh, yeah.
And lies. Why do I lie? We did 50 hours of streaming, Wales and I, just to prove that this is vastly underestimate.
Fugazi.
And
it's crazy, right?
Yeah, I just stopped.
How crazy is that?
Hours. I just said over 50.
So. It's so crazy. I mean, I think we did an 8-hour stream already, didn't we? I think we did that a while ago.
Yeah.
We're the fucking originator. What the fuck does an 8-hour stream? Only Hex ain't gonna do 8-hour stream, bro.
Correct. Yeah.
It's insane, man. It's insane.
So, game theory. We've got game theory for people. Want to go over that, and then we can go over your news topic? Do you want to do the news topic?
Yeah,
first?
We could do that game theory.
Okay. How am I gonna get this? Let's see. Actually, can you bring up your topic and I'll work on copying this over?
Yeah, just share my second screen and we're good to go.
Awesome.
All right, guys, let's get to it. Disclaimer: the information displayed in this broadcast is known to cause increased amounts of FOMO. Whales Only and his guests are not responsible for any losses you may accrue for having weak, baby, sissy, lady, soft, puny hands.
Hexo had a baby hand.
Did he?
Like, yeah, it was like a prop that he had.
Like cool. A finger hand or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen those. So today it was released this morning, and then it got me really hyped because these people are, well, let me go over them. Brevin Howard. They are finally going to allocate some capital to crypto. And one of the guys that's the main founder, ALLin Howard, he's already allocated some money to crypto previously. So he has experience to a degree with this. Bitcoin and other coins. I don't know exactly which, doesn't matter. But Brevin Howard is a European macro hedge fund founded by ALLin Howard and 4 others in 2002. At the time, they were Credit Suisse, and there are 4 traders that you can read there. It was one of the largest macro funds in the world at $40 billion in assets under management in 2013. In 2015, the company reduced its workforce by 10% due to reduced management, assets and management, and because of the returns, right? Like legacy finance has been having a hard time making money. It's just been rough, and it came to the point where by 2016, the firm had to reduce assets, right, from 41 billion spread across 9 funds, and it collapsed all the way down. And now it's at look at that, 13. But it went all the way down to 6 billion, and now it's only back above 13 billion. And this was from 5 years ago.
Is that from people withdrawing money or from them
Yes.
making risky bets that didn't
People
work out?
withdrawing money. This is from people withdrawing money, because when you're not making money, what happens is that you have to hit something called a high watermark. So when you don't hit a high watermark, that means that you no longer can charge the clients for a fee. Right? This is how hedge funds actually make money. If they don't continue to make money, they don't make money. So all these lies about them actually stealing from clients isn't always true. They have to actually make money in order to get paid. And that comes in the form of a high watermark. Yeah, I mean, everything you hear in media is a lie, bro. You got to be very careful with that stuff. But this is the important part about this whole topic. They were the top U.S. Treasury traders for a long time. So why does that matter? Well, HEX is going to essentially replace that. Whether people want to acknowledge that or not is irrelevant. I'm letting you know that's what's going to happen because it is high quality collateral. Plain and simple. Math dictates that as fact. People can ignore it if they want. Doesn't matter. Ultimately, this entity will find HEX, and it's game over.
Game over.
Over. Because these guys are exactly the people I'm fucking thinking about and talking about. They're not going to give a fuck about what anybody is saying. They're not going to give a fuck about no coin market crap. None of that bullshit. All of that is so irrelevant, it's not even funny. It's not funny. Because these people don't give a fuck. They're killers. They're here to make fucking money. They're not here to platitude and placate and all that shit. They're not here for none of that. They're here to make money, and they don't give a fuck about anything else. And this is how people really operate in my world. This is what people need to understand. When I'm talking about when people come over here and stomp, you're going to fucking feel it because they're not going to give a fuck. Because they only operate 2 ways. You either see them or you don't. So this is major.
So if they say that they're getting in, does that mean they already got in?
Yes.
Okay. So that's who made the 63
Correct.
top. Okay.
Correct. So that is critical because HEX, this is going to be the start, right? When these people find HEX, everybody else is going to have to fall in line. Why? Because these guys lead the rate field in finance. Interest rate traders are the tone setters for the market. They're the macro leaders. It's just FX and rates. Those are the people that run and lead the flows of capital around the world. They are essentially the smart money. And it's more so the rates traders than anybody else. Everybody else is just there, but it's really just the rate traders and everybody takes their cue off of them. That's pretty much how it works. So once these guys find HEX, i.e. the smart money, because that's how it works, that's it. We're all priced the fuck out. So act fucking fast. I'm not even joking. It's become serious. It's the only reason I'm even talking about it tonight. Otherwise, I wouldn't give a shit. But I'm letting you guys know. Your clock has started now. Because they let you know. Big boys are in the building. You fucking sleep at the wheel if you want. Let everybody know wide and far. Because it's not a game. HEX works. It's that simple. Nothing else really matters. So you can hang on to your fucking Richard Hart stories and all that bullshit if you want. If you think somebody's going to give a fuck when they got billions of capital to allocate and there's 40 million at stake or 40% at stake, excuse me, and you think they're not going to take advantage of that, you're foolish. Extremely foolish.
I want to address this question real quick because I think it's an important one. I can't tell you what to do with your money, but I could tell you that allegedly, I bought an Ethereum from Coinbase for $12.50, a whole Ethereum, and then I paid $7.50 in fees. And so I think you're going to do even better than I did, paying like 30 or 40% fees, right? Because that Ethereum today is worth like $2,500 or something like that, right? And so I'm not like spending all my time crying into a pillow about how I could have paid a lower fee.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe I cry into a pillow a little bit because I should have bought more, but I didn't know back then, so it's okay. I know now with HEX, right? And so, if you want to spend if you want to spend the money there, and if you want to pay that little extra 1%, so extra $2, you could do your swap on MetaMask, and then you might get an airdrop. That'd be pretty cool to get a $2,000 airdrop. We don't know if it'll happen, but I didn't get an airdrop with my Ethereum that I bought for $12.50. But $200, I mean, like, I've helped people get in for a little bit less than that, and the fees suck, but stake it.
I mean, the question is,
stake it.
I think the actual question is, well, what's your time horizon, right? Because $200 isn't a lot of money. So if you're looking at it for more than 1 year, maybe it's worth it.
Yeah. Quattro Cinco.
Right?
If this is $200 you can lose, then
it could be anything you want it to be, really.
4x5 it.
Yeah, it could be whatever you want it to be. Like, that's the cool thing, right? It just depends on what your time frame is. And Marco asked me, like, how do we get them to see it? How do we put it in front of it? And we could try to put it in front of them, right? But you guys got to understand, this is a big, major macro fund. You don't just email them or send them anything. It just doesn't work like that. They operate within their, world. They don't operate within our world. They do what they do. So they'll find HEX when they find it, and that's just how it works. There's no reason to try to press a situation. All you need to do is keep buying HEX because you're not going to be able to once they do. So you should actually hope they don't find it.
Yeah.
So
don't tell them.
Yeah.
Please.
You actually don't want them to.
Even if you have a relative who is them, don't tell them.
I'm hoping nobody finds out about it. I mean, and it doesn't stop going up. Like, it's ridiculous.
Who's the guy?
What do you mean? The hedge fund? So the hedge fund is called Brevin Howard.
Don't tell Uncle Howard about this, Marco. Uncle Howard doesn't need to know yet.
The name is a combination of this person's, ALLin Howard's, last name and then a truncation of the last name of the other four people.
Oh.
It's B-R, and then there's a V in there. Yeah, Ver, whatever. I don't know how they did it, but Brevin is what they ended up coming up with, Brevin Howard. So whatever. It's like the last names. Yeah, it's a weird thing they did there.
It's like NSYNC.
Yeah. Whatever.
The last letter of their name.
Yeah.
Justin and Chris and Lance and all those guys.
I mean, it's crazy for them to be coming into crypto. It's a very big sign. It's because you got to understand who these people are, man. These are people that stomped in the U.S. Treasury markets for years, right? And what does that mean? That means that they are not to be reckoned with and not to be played with. Like, they're big money, right? They're a big macro hedge fund. Like, they're well known in the legacy space. Like, people are going to follow this fund, period.
So maybe we did find more billionaires other than Elon Musk to buy into Bitcoin. Cool. Now there's more money in crypto to buy HEX.
Well, the market cap is at 2.2 trillion. I actually tweeted it earlier.
For Bitcoin?
It's a little bit, no. For Bitcoin, it's not 2.2. Yeah, for crypto. Total. For Bitcoin, it is 1.1, almost 2 trillion. for Bitcoin. For
Old
Bitcoin
man
minus,
Bitcoin.
for crypto minus Bitcoin is around 1.012 trillion. So we're up there. We're up there.
Yeah.
We're close to 2.02 or to 2.2 trillion, 2.18, 2.19. So, time for a little pullback finally. Ethereum hit 2544. It's insane. Insane. I mean,
What?
yeah,
2544.
yeah, yeah,
Weird.
yeah. Ethereum is on a freaking tear, bro. It's on a freaking tear. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Nice.
So let me answer this question for Hex Monkey. All right. So look, Hex Monkey. Professionals do not go to fucking websites at all. Okay, they get their information directly from people that know what the fuck is going on. Like, you guys need to wake the fuck up. The real world does not operate like the internet does. In real life, people get information that's worth money when they have money. So when somebody comes asking, hey, you guys know I'm fucking rate traders, can you guys put me in the direction of a fucking interest rate crypto? Somebody's gonna have to fucking look and find it, and it's not gonna be an option. Like, when somebody asks for something and they got money, guess what? People beat feet and make that shit happen ASAP. It's not a fucking option, bro. So, yeah, it's only a matter of time. I would not be wasting people's time with this shit. I got better things to do, like sleep. Like,
That's right.
yeah, this is serious. This is serious. Like, these people are going to find Hex, and that's going to be that. That's just going to be that. I mean, what, you really think that a fucking multi-billion-dollar hedge fund in Europe is going to give a flying fuck about some gatekeeping in crypto? That doesn't even make any sense. Why would they give a shit? Why would they even know? Yeah, you're welcome, good monkey. All right, Hex Monkey. I mean, it just, you got to think about these things from a realistic standpoint. Because you got to remember, the crypto world is a small nexus of something that's not even real. It's manipulated at every front. This is why I didn't understand it when I first came on board. If I would have understood it, I probably wouldn't have even made a video. Because I didn't understand it was all like smoke and mirrors. Like, when you got people with followings that don't actually know anything about trading, there's a problem. There's literally a problem within that industry. It's crazy. But yeah, this is major. Go ahead, Maddie. I'm sorry.
Breaking news. Doge is at 22 cents.
Wow, major.
So if you do the math on that, it's the number 8 crypto, not including gate-kept cryptos. And it's the market cap is as high as Ethereum when we all were buying Ethereum.
Wow.
So its market cap is 30 billion.
Makes sense.
Did Brevin Howard FOMO into Doge, or is Elon buying more for all of the other toddlers that he's created, or what's he doing? like, have we talked about Elon Musk and like getting 5 different women pregnant?
I had no idea, actually.
Yeah, I think he's like, trying to like just do an Elon thing, like trying to spread his risk or be an engineer or some like crazy shit.
Yeah,
like
I thought
that.
He was already divorced and like paying alimony out the ass and shit. I didn't know this. I don't know. Maybe he's rich enough to not have to deal with that. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he definitely has better lawyers than Amazon Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, she got fucking half.
He knocks up like artists like Grimes who like don't care about money.
Smart tactic on his part. Yeah. For fucking real.
That's what he said. He's like, I bought Dogecoin for my toddler hodler. And so he's got a little bit, but maybe he bought more for the other kids, for his hodler teenagers or whatever.
Yo, people are crazy, bro. People are crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking Doge, man. When that thing pancakes, some people are gonna be hurting. Cause it's a,
Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad, actually.
cause the thing is that people don't realize when things go up like that, they come right back down. They don't stay there.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were talking about manipulation, and that's why it jumped out to me,
Hmm.
too. It's like, which one's crazier, like all the money printing, or like Doge being at a $30 billion market cap, or Unisocks selling for 100K. Like,
That's just asinine.
what is life?
Doesn't even make any sense, bro. Come on, it's so insane. All right, let me get this first chart handled. First, 487
Yes.
days. Of course, we are not including the days that the exchange deleted in this metric. But as of now, post-big payday is at 363. The T-shares index is at 15,074, rounding up. The HEX index is at 8,684, rounding down. And the Ethereum index is all the way down here at 684, rounding down, with the Bitcoin still flatlining. We got some time before we actually hit them up. So we shall see how things continue. Post-big
Yes.
payday chart. As stated, Hex at 363% rounding down. And then we have the first Bitcoin halving, the orange line at 1,250 rounding up, with the second and third Bitcoin halvings at 117 or 118 rounding up and 125 rounding down, respectively. And as you guys can see, Hex is just floating around. And if it happens to bounce off of this daily moving average I'm looking at right now, it's probably going to keep trading until it just taps that mid band on the RSI and it just reverses. But once it does, we're just going to continue on higher. And not sure what this is going to do. I'd have to look at the data. But eventually, Hex is just going to catch up to that and surpass it. And that day is going to be crazy because it's unexpected. And that's what's crazy about it. I mean, that's something that people are going to be able to brag about.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at how it was so much higher early on,
Exactly.
and I mean, at this point in time, it's a serious competitor, right?
Hmm.
I mean,
It really
kind of
is because it's only
letting
really.
Bitcoin, still be king for now,
Mhm.
but your reign is coming to an end.
Yeah, I read that comment you just put up. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that just says a lot about people with money, right?
Yeah.
And I guess the one thing I want to know is just people want to watch this first upper right cell. It's going to dictate how close or far the hex is from the actual first Bitcoin halving.
That's funny.
Amazon Basics long firms gets you right. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh man. All right. So TJ is Ethereum and TJ is a Bitcoin. Ethereum is a pink line. Bitcoin is orange line. As you guys know, T shares they just hold their value, and Ethereum and Bitcoin are a mini tear. So once they're done tearing, which looks like today for now, or in this next coming session for now, price should bottom, or the T share value should bottom with respect to both, and we should get a pause from that down move. Let's see here. This is just the T-shares a gold chart, 19.84, and again, it's similar to this really. Um, but again, I plan to hopefully have a better version of this chart by this weekend. We shall see. Hex payout
That's nice.
metrics, index metrics at 166,075 for the payout per T-share sum index. I mean, that's just insane, man.
Wow.
That's just insane. 166,000. So this number is that number, but oh, sorry, this number, but in percentage terms. because that number is just a sum. This is that number in percentage terms. So it's insane. That's just for one T-share, what you've gotten all time since inception.
Wow. That's with all the different force multipliers on top of each other, right?
No.
The USD price appreciation
No.
and the
No.
HEX.
No. This is just HEX.
Because it's... Oh, wow.
Payout per T-share sum. That's it. It's just
Okay.
all the HEX you've gotten outright. So that's a sum.
Okay.
So for one T-share, you receive 1,831.8 HEX. That's that number in percentage return. 160. What was that? Yeah, 106. No, 1,660 freaking times. It doesn't even make any sense, Maddie. That's the problem. You're trying to rationalize that shit in your head because the number's astronomical. It's insane. It's crazy, bro. Does it? I mean, it's out of this world. Hold on, I just fucked up my. It's crazy. Hold on.
I'll allow it.
It doesn't make any sense. I know. And I'm just going to check it again because I just have to because it's so insane. Let me see. Yeah, man. That shit is right. Yeah. Because all I'm doing is I'm taking the rate of change and the actual payout per T-share sum, and I'm generating whatever that return is based on that. So in percent, the actual return is like 165,975 because you would have to subtract the 100. But since it's an index, it's just 166,000, blah, blah, blah.
And this is compared to one HEX or like one
T-share.
HEX, right?
This is in line with one T-share. This is what you've received for just having one T-share staked since day one.
And that T-share cost you how much?
$2 and hold on, let me see what the first price is here because I have it recorded.
How's it going, Franklin?
50 cents, 51 cents.
Oh, from the all-time low.
Hold on. I think that's wrong. Hold on. Yeah, $2.17 was what I got for day one. The all-time low is 62 cents at the close, 62 and a half. 62 and a half, and that was, let me see, 21 days in. So that was definitely in mid-January or early January, sorry. And the T-shirt, yeah, that was the T-shirt rate that day, 62 and a half cents. Incredible. Wow. Jesus. So yeah, imagine. That's crazy. That's why these numbers are so high, because it adds that convexity. Right? When you're earning something at such a low level in terms of cost, what it does is that it adds a quantity. Right? Because it has to make up those decimal points. Those zeros in that decimal point have to be accounted for somehow. So instead of it being in a numerical sense, in terms of the value, it happens to be in the quantity of whatever that item is. So it's just the opposite of what you would normally see, right? So instead of paying $3,000 for one share of whatever, you're getting what would be the opposite here? You're getting 3,000 of that one thing for $1, basically. right? So what happens is that when that one thing goes from $1 or whatever the value is at 3,000 for $1 to $1, you just make $3,000 from $1.
Yeah.
And that's astronomical. That's why the shit makes no sense. Does it make more sense now?
I think so. Yeah.
Because it's insane. How do you wrap your head around 166,000%? But it's when you have something that is going parabolic, that's what it's going to do. It's not going to make sense to the average mind, because what does that?
Yeah.
But when you look at, this is what it's done just in terms of hex. If you've had one hex staked since day one, you've received 1,831 hex, almost 32.
And that's just adding all the
hex payouts. All the hex payouts. This pink line summed up.
Okay.
So if you look at this line here, instead of it being a index, just it be the actual payouts, it would just be each independent payout starting from 1 to whatever it went, right? All the way to the 0, whatever it was here. I think it might have been 1. Back up to like 5 to the 6 or whatever. And then up here it was like 13 or whatever it was, right? So it's just that payout stacked up across time, which gives you the line, because it's just stacking it up. And this is how it mimics compounding.
Because it's like 6 hex per day or whatever on average.
It's 5.7, 5.8 around there.
Okay. And then you do that times like 500 days. You get like 2,800 or whatever hex. And then how are you getting the percentage?
Like, how am I getting the percentage? So let me tell you.
Yeah.
So I start with, let's see, where are the t-shirts? So I start with, I get the payout per t-shirt sum now. I start with what the first payout per t-shirt was, which is 1.1, right? And in the low of the day, or the low, all-time low from what I'm recording here, looks like was 62.3. Day 14. Yeah, it looks like it was 0.0623. So half a hex almost.
Okay.
And that was like 14 days in, or 15 days in, whatever it was, 16 days in. Because I know like the first few days didn't count, because the system had to record the first prints so that it can actually produce something, right? Because it has to have inputs in order to generate an output, right? So the first few days didn't really count. I think it was the first couple of days.
Yeah.
So if I'm recording each independent payout per T-share every day, right? Across that timeline, I'm going to get a rolling sum. Now, what's a rolling sum? A rolling sum is when you're adding everything that you're catching a long time, right? And every day, that's going to basically be the payout per T-share. So if I'm recording the payout per T-share from day 0 to day 500, that's going to be from one hex payout per T-share all the way to today's 6.034 or 0.039 hex payout per T-share. So in aggregate, that ends up being the 18,000, because it's just a rolling sum. Like the formula is literally all of the hex added up from day one.
And compounding along the way?
No. Actually, you know what? I just realized this line's been wrong the whole time. It's been adding, it's actually 1,825. But it's fine, because it's still a ridiculous number.
Yeah, totally.
Like, that's what's crazy. Like, my mistakes don't even matter, man. That's how ridiculous these numbers are.
Yeah, because that's what it does over time, is it grows exponentially, and it
hold on, let me just change this, because it's just gonna bug me. Where are you? Interest. But yeah, man, it's just, people don't get it, bro. Like, these numbers are ridiculous, man, and they're ridiculous for a reason. Because it works. And when people realize it works, that's automatic value proposition. People aren't going to give a rat's ass about anything else.
Yeah.
They're really not.
Yeah.
Hold on,
exactly. And
Oh,
I
come
think
on.
the more we look at numbers, I mean, this is one of the hottest topics in HEX. I mean, for sure, is people care about the quant angles, and uh, but at the end of the day, you're at the mercy of the contract, and the contract is very merciful. It always pays you. It's not like an employee that doesn't show up. It's not like a
Yeah, that was a
boss
great way
that
to
won't
start the
give you a
stream too.
raise. It's like,
Always on time, everything.
that's right.
Yeah, that was a great way to
It's
start it,
like a
guys.
machine. It's
Yeah,
like a
it's so
machine that
true.
prints money.
Yeah, that's why I've always called it a money printer. That's right.
I
That's
love
right.
that.
Because it's so true, man. It really simplifies everything of what it is. It just keeps it simple. It really does. Let me see here. So let's see. We scroll up. Yeah, that changes the overall return down a little bit to 165,527, or at least the index. It's just ridiculous. Like, you should see your face. You're trying to really wrap your head around how that number can be so high.
Yeah.
And you're not and you completely understand what's going on here. But that's how ridiculous this shit is. It's so ridiculous. And when people figure this out, there's no stopping it because it's just the beginning. 6.039. And that's just going to drop tomorrow. It's not going to stay that high. So,
Yeah. Well, unless people do more service
I mean, come on.
to the benefit of others.
Yeah, I mean, that's expectation of that is,
I mean, we don't know if it wasn't the OA doing that or something.
right? Could have been.
I mean, this could be
But,
part of some master plan to blow up the whole OA account, although I think that it'd be better to not do that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
And well, yeah, and I know how Richard feels about burning or wasting hex. He'd because I volunteered to do a social contract and to burn some hex if I didn't go for a run the next day, and he screamed out, "No, don't do it!" Then he provided an alternate possibility of just keeping my word and having the community, keep me honest. And so
right.
ended
Doing
up
what they're supposed to do.
doing a proof of stake instead of a proof of burn with
Right.
my exercise.
Oh man, so it looks like we're bouncing right now. I hadn't really noticed this earlier, but it looks like we're bouncing off of this support line at 8,400, so which is interesting, or 8,100, something to watch. Which is really the square root of 9, or 9 squared. Sorry, which is a prime number, or the root of 9 is a prime number. Sorry.
Interesting.
Yeah. Numbers just work that way. It's just a weird thing. You always want to go back to the basic 9 or 10 numbers, or really 9 numbers, 1 through 9, but you've got to count 0 too. This is weird math. I'm not going to get into that. So yeah, we already talked about this. This is just crazy, man. I mean, 1,825 hex, man. Just because you're just holding on. You're not doing anything. Proof of weight. Beautiful thing.
I ain't mad at that.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, what's better than that? I really hate when this chart does this. Why does it do that? All right, the APY is 39.16, so you guys can see here. The T-shirt rate has taken a dip because we've taken a dip. And that's with respect to the dollar value, of course. 10,000 hex costs at the time of recording was a whole lot higher than it is now, $188.80. Currently trading at $177. Wow. Or 178 really. It's on discount, guys. Get in where you fit in, because you're not going to see it this cheap for too much longer. I don't know how that goes. T-shares at 328. I mean, this is just crazy. That's a $140 difference. Wow.
Yeah, wow. That's
a lot.
It's interesting to compare those specific numbers, because that's
not
how
a
much
little
a
bit.
T-share used to cost.
Yeah, right. That's not a little bit. I mean, it's a little less now, probably, but that's 74, 75%. Wow. Um, that's what me and Kareem have always talked about with respect to the gap, the spread, that we see. Let me see. Apex.win. Okay, maybe not. Okay, let's see. Currently, the T share dollar cost is $3.11. Versus okay, which isn't bad. So if I change these values to what they currently are, just for this chart's sake, let's do that. Just because it matters. Give me a subcolons. I'll get this data from. Okay. Raw data. Oh, okay. 0.177 9969. Let me get 311.63. Okay. Oh, what the hell just happened? What did that happen? What did I do?
Oh no, it went to 0.
Yeah, I don't understand why I did that.
Bye.
Yeah, right? What the hell just happened here? Why is my chart doing that? Let me see what's going on.
I wish.
Yeah, I wish. Shit. If only it was that easy, right? 10,000 HEX. What the hell's going on here? What is going on here? Okay. That's fine. Yo, why I didn't even do anything but just change the values. Why Excel gotta act stupid? I don't understand what happened.
It's because we were talking shit on Bill Gates earlier.
It must have been. Must have been. Like, this doesn't make any sense. I think I'm gonna have to. Let's see, T-shirt rate, huh? Let's see.
Benny,
Yes.
it depends if a bot is helping provide liquidity or not, I guess. But if somebody came in and just bought a 200 million HEX bag or whatever is available there, would the
Right,
liquidity
whatever's
replenish
available.
itself automatically? You know, I think, Wales was saying once that maybe it's smart to provide liquidity when people are selling, so they don't push the price down and ruin it for everybody, but then take the liquidity away when those people are trying to buy back,
Right, make them pay
at higher prices, and just force them to move the price against themselves both ways.
That's right. Should have stuck around, homie. Now you got to pay.
Yeah.
Nature of the game. I mean, it happens in Bitcoin every day. Right? Happens in pretty much any crypto that is going to be bought every day. So it's just a gimme. All right, let's see. See if this thing wants to act right. Okay. What is going on here? This is no bueno.
Benny, if you want to see somebody do it really badly, then win some poker tournaments and do it yourself. Or just message the people at the hedge fund we're not supposed to message, right? And
Wait, what is he saying?
Get them on it. He wants somebody to buy 200 million HEX tonight.
Funny. If only it worked like that.
None of us know if it's set to auto replenish itself or not. Well, it's whoever's providing liquidity, it's up to their decision making and whether they've outsourced that to a robot so they can,
Yeah,
hang out with chicks or do whatever they want to do without watching screens all day. Like, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, people gotta understand. People do what they want, not what you want. I mean, that's just how it works, man. It was only that easy. All right, I think we're in action now. Okay, guess it was just a technical error, because now it's all good. Alrighty. So yeah, so right now, to look at that, the T-share rate has gone up because the dollar value for T-shares and the cost of HEX has gone down, making the T-share rate a little bit more expensive than it was a moment ago. So as you guys can see, it's a variable thing, and the actual cost of HEX and the dollar cost of the T-share doesn't necessarily make the rate attractive. So this is why it's important to understand that. The relation between the dollar cost of HEX and the dollar cost of the T-share. But besides that, I mean, this chart is just giving you that close-up view of that big chart that I was showing before to show when T-shares go deflationary. But I don't want to keep showing that chart. It's too FOMO-y. All right, we're gonna get into the expiring shares, and before I forget, no, I already did change the what do you call it? The date. So as always, please pay attention to the date and pay attention to the short end of the staking curve, and watch the cursor and how the bar penetrates it. All right, penetrates 6 days later, then 7 days later it dissipates, which causes the T-share rate to go up. Now we're at 9 days later, and what I want you guys to notice is how we've dropped. Right over the past couple of weeks, we were all the way out here. All right, and this was into early April, but now we're on mid-April. So we're now going to start seeing that the stakes are going to start rolling out, right? They're going to come further out along the curve, the staking curve, which means that we're going to start seeing this gap fill up with short stakes, which is what we're seeing. And we just need to keep looking to see where the gaps are getting filled. And for right now, looks like they're getting filled out here in the, what is this, 5 to 6 year mark area. And out here in the 12 to 13 year area. But that's pretty much it as far as the shares go. But as always, the gaps are where you want to end your stake. And if you want to end it after, always make sure you end it after a big wall. Always make sure you end it after a nice size one like that, because you're going to benefit a lot from the price action of inflation thereafter, because this is what drives up the value, and it happens to be a lagging effect, it seems like. And once it actually finishes playing out, I'll delve into what I mean. But as of right now, I'm just watching, because again, HEX is relatively new, right? We don't really know how it's going to behave, how it's going to act, especially now that all of the inflation is out into the system. So, interesting stuff for sure. And now we get into the correlation charts. And as always, HEX where it's supposed to be. Everything else, I guess it is, but HEX is where it's supposed to be. And Bitcoin and Ethereum just all over the map. Right. All over the map. So this is something that you guys also have to understand. These funds are going to buy, Bitcoin because it's what they know. It's the most common one. It's what people are familiar with, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. When they start digging, they start looking. It's game over. And that's the thing people have to understand. It's only a matter of time before the real whales find their real swimming pool. That's why I'm called Whales Only. Like, I saw this from day one. It's not just people are gonna be whales. Is that HEX is really for whales. Like, it really, really is. And you guys are gonna see it in the future. You can't see it now, but you're gonna see it in the future. Because whales don't lie. It's mathematically proven that it's gonna be true. Like, you guys don't get it. Like you guys really got to go back to the early streams. This is early days. If you think Hex is not going to follow the same trajectory as a real network coin, yeah, out your mind. Out your mind. It's already doing it. And that's what people don't understand. And it had to contest with so much more supply than any other coin on the outset. And so much FUD and so much negativity and so much anything. And it's still up like it was never down. Man, it's crazy.
Let that sink in, people.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Correlation 0 on both. I mean, this is just dirty. All right, so as of right now, with respect to today's payout per T-share, we got 1.78 cents on the books as of right now. Payout per T-share with relation to that price is 10.75 cents. And the adjusted HEX value ends up being 12.53 cents. So again, just think of the adjusted HEX value as a future value of HEX. It ultimately is going to traverse that. A year ago, we were already at 1.8 cents, 2 cents. And that's just how it goes, man. You know, this is just where we're going thanks to the spread. And it's just what it's going to be. Wouldn't be to pick your end stake before a huge wall. Nah, because so let me answer Crypto Goose's question, because that's a good question. It depends what you want. If you want to cash out quickly and you don't want to benefit from the run up in the inflation that's going to hit the system, then you get out. But if you want to benefit from the inflation that's going to hit the system, i.e. a higher valuation in the system, then you want to leave your coins there, because over time, that valuation is going to increase the value of the system. This is why the halvenings are important. This is why I track the post-big payday chart versus all of the halvenings. And the thing you have to understand is that the bigger the halvening, i.e. the bigger the end stake, the bigger the rip. All right. So this is why we went from that to hold on. We went from this to that to the collapse to then a 400, T-share hex rip, T-share rate hex rip, right? And then during this whole time, the value went bazooka, like it went bonkers, right? And what's happened lately is that now you have an increase in T-share accumulation. That's visible, right? Very visible. Now we're easily hovering above the 11 million trillion mark for shares. Now, why is that important? This is important because once you get to this one specific chart, which is after this one, XPE, you're going to note that going all the way back here, up until now, the slope of this line has really been slightly positive. It's hard to see, but it's been slightly positive up until today due to the emergency end state. So what I expect is tomorrow is going to just jump back in line to go back in line with the true valuation of HEX because of the total T-share accumulation. Because that's what's really going to determine like what the APY is, or not what the APY is. Well, yeah, what the APY is. What the payout's going to be like is going to determine a lot of things, because every time somebody starts a stake, it creates shares. Because they don't exist until then.
Yeah, when you show that PE graph, the price to earnings, and it's going down today, that's where I can really visualize what you're saying about buying the dip.
Right. That's exactly where you see it with respect to when you earn your interest. That's correct. Because the payout is always going to go up, but it's always going to come down. And it's always going to go up again. But this, we don't know what's going to happen with it. Right? Well, we know over time this is going to go up. But what I mean in the interim, we always know that this is going to go up or it's going to go down. Here, we don't really know what's going to happen in the interim. And this is going to be a determinant, or this is going to be determined by what happens here, right? And that's the thing that's important to understand. That's why these big stakes, like there's been several big short stakes lately, and I wish I've been able to keep better track of them because I haven't. But understanding this flow and how this changes over, and I really got to find a better way to display this data. I'm gonna work on that because I really don't like it, but it's okay for now.
I like it. Yeah, it's this is the future market supply of HEX.
Yeah, but the thing is like it doesn't give a clear identification of what these bars mean, right? It's just like showing magnitude. It's like a Richter scale, but there's no scaling here. That's the problem. It's just like, okay, well, this looks like it's where the most stakes are at.
Yeah, it's because when everybody's when HEX first started, everybody's thinking, okay, I'm gonna stake 10 years. You know, some people did 5-year, 10-year stakes. Some people did 1 through 10, but like 10 was such a common number. I think that's why we see so much right there. That's
right. Yeah. I get that, but
psychologically.
Yeah, because that was the max of the 3641 and all of that, the max bonus shares and all that.
Yeah. Before people realized that, like, you don't want to unplug your money printer early.
Correct.
Especially when it's an OG printer.
Especially because you're not going to be able to reclaim the same quantity of T-shares at all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know, the bank shows up for their money printer and they want it back, you know?
Yeah, you got to lease that bad boy as long as possible, man. No BS. No BS. I mean, all of these things, right? Like, they're all kind of all over the place, but they really matter because when you're able to pick up 6 HEX per T-share multiplied by the total number of T-shares, man, that's a good day. That's a good day. Because what's going to happen is that when price elevates, you see how this elevation happened so much quicker than this one?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for that. And if you look back, every elevation here happens quicker. Every dip happens quicker with respect to the T-share because it's building up that value over time. It doesn't have the ability to just lag because you just picked up a bag here, right? Like if you, let me see. Yep, HEX dip, boom. Oh, hold on, that's not lining up with time. Give me a second. That's 11. This is right before Big Payday. Oh, shoot. Let me see something. Yeah, I might even, because this is after Big Payday. Because the chart wouldn't make sense because of Big Payday. But long story short, the whole point about it is that you imagine, right, as price was dropping and these people that had thousands of T-shares were accumulating HEX all the way down. When it were priced higher, those were repricing off of that low. So when you were getting that HEX, you were getting it at 7/8 of a cent all the way down to 2/10 of a cent or wherever the price closed or crossed. Like, oof, we just got a nice sell at 1.75. Let's see who the hell this is. The interesting thing about today is that the sells have been very orderly, which is good. Because what that means is that it really is somebody that isn't trying to call attention to themselves, which is great.
Who are you?
Yeah. And
type your name in the chat.
Yo, the reason is great. I dare you. I double dare.
How dare you give us a discount?
You know what? I know where to go.
You selfless bastard.
You should know better than to do something so nice.
Yeah, come on.
How dare you? You evil, evil person.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
I'm trying to calculate the PE of Coinbase over here, people. So
good luck with that.
Because I heard Pomp say it today, but he was using the bullshit like forward numbers that are impossible to calculate because you don't know how much Bitcoin people are gonna buy. So it's stupid to use projected numbers. He's totally a shill for Coinbase now since he owned part of the seed or whatever.
For sure, bro. That's the thing, man. That's the problem with the industry nowadays. You know, people are gonna enter. They're gonna find the most popular people by default, and that's just gonna be that. They're gonna be lied to from inception, and that's how certain. All right, so the person that just sold looks like they're entirely out of HEX, which is great. Yep, they are entirely out of HEX, and they were just trading it. Interesting.
See ya at 22 cents.
Yeah, they are not bright cookies, that's for sure.
Okay. Oh, did they make 1.8 billion in a quarter? Oh yeah, that's more than they made in 2020.
Who's that exactly?
Coinbase.
Ah, nice.
Q1 was really good.
I bet. Damn, they have
so-
one stake left. Fuck.
So let's I don't know. Is that something that Wall Street people do? Is they multiply like 1 quarter by 4, even though it's just 1 quarter, or
Annualize something? Yeah, they do something like that.
So, but if
it depends what it is.
Yeah. So what are we doing for our price to earnings that's not forward looking? What are we doing? What's the math behind that?
Well, it depends what it is. What is it exactly? For something like this?
Coinbase.
For Coinbase? Oh, forward earn. I don't even know, bro. Because
So if we do
so here's something you got to understand about Coinbase. You got to understand how it makes money. That's number one. It makes money by feeding people to death. So the question is, how long can they maintain this rate of fees generation? That's the actual question.
Yeah.
Generating a price of earnings is nothing. That's not going to give you anything because it's a tech stock. So no matter the multiple or the evaluation is going to be cheap. So that's something you have to understand off the get, because people are going to overvalue it because people understand that crypto is the future. So it's going to be like Amazon, something that nobody understands why it keeps going up. Just saw that shit. And you're right, Mac. You're damn right. I damn near did just thought, why?
Good ears.
Why the hell would anybody buy anything that costs you $100 when it A, doesn't do shit for you, B, this thing that costs 2 cents, 1.75 cents, pays you and is going to give you ridiculously outsized returns, not only in HEX, but also in fiat return. Cannot be beat.
Yeah. All the Coinbase people, they're selling their shares right now so they can buy the next coin that's going to get listed before everybody else,
Yup.
With that inside
dump
information.
it on your head again.
Yeah. Rinse and repeat. Okay, so let's be super generous to them and say 1.8 billion times 4. So that's 7.2. Okay, so they are at a see, but that's why PE is a vanity metric too.
Mm-hmm. It is
in the rigged market case, but
So here's the thing:
what's Bitcoin's price to earnings?
What's the total
number
number
that's right.
of shares?
It doesn't have an earnings.
Hold on, let me see something. Total shares of Coinbase, total outstanding shares, because that's how you get the PE actually. Let's see.
So it's got to be
261.3 million shares. Okay.
That's what I was gonna say. 200 million. But you could also do it by the market cap and the earnings.
Yeah, you do the market cap divided by the total number of shares, or that's what I would do. That's the price of earnings. What's the price? I don't actually know. Let me go to
322.
320. Oh wow.
So their market cap is 60 bill.
263.
Which is
1. I got 84.7 billion.
But I was being super generous in doing 1.8 billion that they did in quarter one times 4.
Oh wait, hold on. No. Hold on. I'm sorry. So for the earnings, you have to do the 1.7 divided by the 2.63. What is it? 1.7 or 1.8 or multiplied by
So that
4?
was 1.8 and a quarter
Yeah, multiplied by 4. 7.2 divided by
times 4. Yeah.
2.63. That gives you 2.7 cents a quarter. 2.75 cents a quarter. So 2.75 cents a quarter.
But
Earnings
you
per
can also
share.
take the market cap as 60 billion.
So that's the earnings per share, right? If you want price to earnings, hold on.
Yeah.
Give me a second. That's that divided by that.
So by like 60 divided by 7.2 is like 8.3. Is the
What's going
price that
on
is
here?
trading like over. So it'd be like 8.3
Oh,
years to
my
make
bad. I
back
had
your
the wrong
money
cell.
if they had a quarter every quarter in the next 8.3 years that was as good
I got
as the whole
44
year of
times.
2020.
44 times. So 44 years is what I got. Because it should be the price of the stock divided by the earnings per share. That's what it should be. The price to earnings ratio. So I got 44.72 times at the current price and the current estimated forward earnings.
And like and so in the real world, like it's that
I wonder what their
regulatory capture is what's really giving them the advantage here,
yeah.
right? And so that's not going to last probably in a free market. And
No, you got
so
KuCoin already trying to go public. Like there's other exchanges trying to go public, so it's only a
oh
matter of time.
what's the other one? The guy was uh okay, now I'm blanking out.
Wait a minute, there's
It's
another
another
exchange too.
major exchange, like
FTX maybe.
bigger maybe. It's a crypto
Polynex.
exchange. Bigger.
Kraken.
Yeah.
Kraken, yes, Kraken. That's funny. We don't even know the names of these things. Oh,
Thank
too funny.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Who wants to deal with that shit? What was I gonna look up? Price to earnings of estimated PE for coin. Just curious of what these clowns think it's. Yeah, so I thought. Oh, this is from last year. Never mind. Let's see. Let's get the latest past week. Nope.
Hexmac, why are you talking about other coins in here?
Come
Stick
on,
to
X-Man.
to picking up when
Get it
whales throws up
together.
in his mouth because of something he
Yeah, I
said.
thought you had that figured out, bro. That's funny. All
Yeah.
right, let's see.
Yeah.
What is this? This is April 5th. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. This is a paywall. No thanks. All right, here we go. I should have just went to Finance Yahoo. I'm a moron. So the market cap is already at 60 billion. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing on Yahoo too.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you would take the stock price divided by the estimated earnings per share, which is 0.275, whatever. And that's how you get that. I mean, look, man, again, I don't understand why anybody would buy this shit. Only a moron would buy this. Seriously. At this point in time, only a
So
moron would buy
so
this.
that wouldn't I mean like if it were a crypto, which it's not of course,
It's
but
not.
like
It's
it would
paper.
be the number 5 coin.
Right, because it's 60 billion.
Right under XRP, which is a scam between banks, and
Not
BNB, which
even.
is like a centralized copy of something that you can get for free.
All
And
right, so let me explain what a direct public offering is. Uh, let me explain. A direct public offering is when they are allowed to dump on your heads without any intermediaries, meaning no brokerages involved. They're allowed to sell their shares to you at cost. Well, not at cost, at whatever price the market dictates. Right, directly. Direct public offering. That's what that means. Okay.
Is that a good thing? Do we like that, or is that a bad thing?
That's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just, it is what it is. It just shows the intention behind the seller. That's all. So it's however you want to take it.
Okay.
Right? Because at the end of the day, people that are picking up Coinbase at 322 aren't realizing that they're buying it from people that paid 15 cents for it. How about them apples?
Can you say that one more time? Sorry.
People that are paying 320 or whatever the price is for Coinbase per share don't realize that they're buying it from people that paid 15 cents per share.
How'd they pay 15 cents?
We got in early. VC.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow. Those are some mad gains.
That's right.
If they bought Bitcoin, would they have done better? Maybe.
That's some math to be done. Probably, yeah. I don't know. It depends
Yeah.
when they funded the rounds, but odds are yes. So let's see. Let's take. Let's say they dumped at the high of 424. I think it was from 0.015. That's 2,826x.
Oh yeah, they should have bought Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. So
That's a good lesson.
mhm.
It's a good lesson for all you VCs out there.
All I did was divide 424 divided by 15 cents. That gives you your X. If you want, you can remove the first 15 cents, whatever you like. Right? Let's just for posterity's sake. Doesn't even matter. So whatever.
Yeah. I mean, because
So,
Coinbase was founded pretty early, right?
yeah, they were one of the first crypto exchanges, 2014, if I remember correctly, or maybe even sooner, maybe 2012. I don't really remember, but it's back then, back in the day. They were one of the first major crypto exchanges worldwide.
2012.
2012, yeah, back then.
Oh yeah. Price of Bitcoin on 6/20, 2012. $10, somewhere in there. $10. How much did they make? What X?
2,826.
Okay, they could have done a 6,000X in Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. I'm not even doubting that, bro. Hold on, let me give them the true high. The true high was 429 with 54 cents. Let's be generous and give them 430. Yeah, 2866x. If you knew better, you do better. Boom.
Boom.
Oh man, I love being gangster. It's too easy. It's just math, bro. Like people want to try to be slick and play these games that they just can't play. Like you're just playing yourself at the end of the day. You're paying $300 for some shit. You're paying 50 cents for some other nonsense. This shit was worth zero a year ago. You're giving away money at 15 cents a share. Total clown move. People don't get it. Like this is what I'm talking about. People don't understand what they're doing with money. It's a tool. The whole objective of that tool is to find the best place to earn the greatest return on that tool. That's it. Is to keep generating that tool. It's not for anything else. So if you take $100,000 and put it in something that costs you 3,000 a unit versus something that costs you 2 cents a unit, you fucked up. Period. Doesn't matter. You just fucked up. That's just how the math works.
Should have bought Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Should have converted it into HEX.
Yep. Pretty much. It's funny, man. You gotta understand how markets work. Something like Doge can pump to $1 tonight and right back down to 10 cent right after that. So you guys be careful. That's all I'll tell you.
Bill Gates bought DOS for $50,000. Okay, well,
Good for him. Hope he eats it.
okay. Stop looking at Dogecoin, people. Stop it. That's no good. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Like, we already know Doge is going to like number one, and
Yeah, it doesn't even matter.
it doesn't even matter.
Who cares? That's just gonna collapse on his face. Literally irrelevant. Like you guys gotta understand that shit is so irrelevant. I can't even understand why you guys are discussing it. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves.
I mean, like, we could discuss
exactly.
it.
It's a dumpster fire. I don't even look at dumpster fires. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it just reminds me that things are rigged and like.
Exactly. That's exactly what that tells you. When trash flies to the moon, that lets you know exactly what's going on. I learned this looking at legacy, trading legacy markets. That's how you learn that. When you look at the most shortest stocks fucking ripping to the moon, that lets you know exactly what's going on.
I mean, it's got a good narrative, right? That like people are choosing this, and if you think that
People are choosing a
corporations
coin
aren't
that
in
means
Doge,
Come on, bro.
and they're not the ones that are manipulating it, that's a good story, bro. But I'm not sure it checks out. Like,
Exactly. Like, come on. People are moving that trash around. That trash is worthless. You
yeah,
need billions of dollars to move that around.
they scooped it up from you when you were
Billions.
playing around with it right after GameStop, and now they're selling it back. They're ready to sell it back to you at a quarter here.
Have fun.
And you could ride that all the way to $1 or $10 for all you want.
Or to zero.
But how are you going to get out faster than the people who own 40%?
You're not.
Yeah, people are in for an education.
Mm-hmm.
When they mess with Doge. Let's see. But on a brighter note, we could talk about these charts. We could talk about the game theory for Pulse.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the.
We can talk about anything you want, man. Any
Okay.
specific chart you want me to go into? Because a lot of these charts are kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So this one, is that year 13 that's looking so scant? Is that because 13 is an unlucky number from like?
Yeah, I guess so.
From
it looks like 2020. Yeah, I guess it would have been year 13 from when it started. Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, because that's right around.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's right around December 23 or 32. So yeah, 13
December
years from
32.
2019 or 12 years from 2019, roundabouts.
So why does Richard want people to fill in the gaps? Just because it's cool to have the future market supply, or
From
because
what I heard him say is
ladder and
because
have multiple stakes, and so he wants you to get your little USDC bump there, so you can buy your golden yacht and leave the rest of it alone.
I think from what it sounded, he was just trying to say, like, don't let yourself get wrecked by whales exiting the system at the same time as you, because you're not going to be able to compete if you have a small stake that's not, this size. Like, how are you going to compete with that?
Yeah.
So that was his point. Like, try to get in where you fit in, basically. And this is why I like to say, like this is why I think, staking for the max makes sense. Like, anybody that's staked longer than this wall, they're gonna reap. Like, they're gonna be the people that are holding on to HEX at ridiculous price amounts. Not the people selling at 10 years. The people that are selling at 10 years are the people selling Bitcoin from 3 to 10,000. That's who they were, and that's who all of these people are. Timestamp that. and record it, hex clip it, whatever you want. That's a fact, mathematical fact. Because what's going to happen, it's already shown on the chart. I've shown it already. Now I feel like I got to throw that damn chart in there when I wanted to get rid of it. All right, let me get it out. Because it's important that people understand the power of staking long. And that's the only reason I'm going to bring this out, because I really need you guys to understand it.
Yeah, because Hexmac is accusing me of of launching some hex out there in year 13 right now, and if he's talking about hex stake year 13.com, I am registering the domain right now, but I'm not. I'm not launching hex out for anything.
Just for the hell of
it. Because once you and I'm sure Hexmac knows this because he's an early adopter as well, like day one or something. And, we made all these ladders not knowing what we were doing, and then we figured it all out.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's
now
what's so
time
crazy, bro. I
to make the long ones.
I think we were talking about that yesterday. I couldn't imagine being around back then and not having a fucking clue. Holy shit. Like, that just blows my mind.
Well, the interest was nominal, right?
Oh, of course, but that's easy to understand.
It was 5 or 10. Well, back then it was only paying 5 or 10%. So it was like, these swings up and down seemed more important than the.
Got it. It was a different market. It looked different back then.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Interesting. People weren't really looking at the long game.
But then Richard started warning us and kind of, I took some cues from him.
Right. That's cool. Okay.
In the summer.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I did not know that. Ooh, a nice of the sale. Oh, man. You guys are going to make me just buy some tonight, huh? Looks like we could hit 1.5. That would be mighty nice, but that's probably not going to happen. All right, let me stop. So this is why, right, when people end these stakes here at year 10, prices are going to just skyrocket, man. Like, it's just going to keep going. Like, the blue line is hex price. This is the price for 10,000 hex, right? By the scale, but again, we're behind already. I don't know how far behind we are right now, but we're very far behind because we're already at 488. And the last time I measured this, we were at like 456. So that's already 32 hex difference already from 56 to 88. Yep. 32. So this thing just keeps jumping in chunks, man. It used to be 15 hex or less. Now it's 20 hex or more. And that's going to change the tone of what we see in terms of the loftiness of the price moves in hex. Now, what it's great is that the selling has been orderly, meaning it's not big people, it's people that don't matter in terms of velocity. Now, what does that mean? What that means is that they're just going to cause the next ramp. Now, it might not make sense now, but that's just how markets work. Because what's happening is that while these people are selling, somebody's buying it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to get out.
Yeah.
Very important to understand that. So once we reach a point that the last contract is sold, people are buying this whole time. So what automatically happens is you get that bounce. That's where those bounces come from, because people are actually buying the whole time. So it's pretty crazy. Like, once you sit there and break down how markets actually work, like, it took me a while to figure it out, but it's really how you think. It's very straightforward. It's a hand-to-hand process, right? Like, you buy, you sell, you buy. Like, that's how it works. It's exactly how you think. So it's important to understand the mechanics because it helps you understand the moves, right? When you can break down exactly how a move happens, tick by tick, trade by trade, it's a whole lot easier to understand than by just trying to get it and not understanding it, because you're not understanding what's happening at the ground level. Like when somebody's buying, that means that somebody is also selling. Now, what you don't know is how much they're buying and how much is being sold. That's what you don't know. But what lets you know that is the price reaction.
Okay.
Right? Because if somebody is selling more than somebody that's buying, then that means price is going to take a tilt. It's going to go lower because it's too much weight. Now, if somebody is buying more than it's being sold, then the price might go nowhere, which is just as bad as the price going up. Because what that means is that that person sold and the market just absorbed it. Meaning, if somebody else tries to sell, I might just let them sit there. Like, I've seen that, and it's one of the best traps I've ever seen, because it causes people to think that, yeah, this market has just gotten slow. Right now is the time to fade it. It's going to roll over, and the next thing you know, it just continues, and it just took all your lunch money. Thank you. Come again. Happens so many times, especially in the treasury markets. Wow. That's where I've seen it the most, but that's what I cheered the most at the time. But it's just crazy, bro. Like, people don't understand how markets work, and markets are very, very finicky. They're about max pain, and this is what people don't understand, because they don't understand how markets work. It took me a real long time to figure it out. So when you have a group of people selling more than they are buying, then price is going to drop. And this is why we have price dropping right now, right? I mean, nobody wants to pay $300 a t-shirt. It's just not there yet. So it's going to come down to a respectable level, maybe $250 a t-shirt, maybe not. And we can literally determine, right, like what the valuation is going to be for HEX and what our potential dip could be with respect to that. I mean, that's pretty cool, because you give yourself a band to play with, because you know it's 74 and down, for example, or 75 and down, right? Like, you know, it's something like that. And that's something you can use, because you see the t-shirt dollar price is 312. So then what's 74% or 26% of that value, or whatever, however the math works, the difference. And then that's that value. But yeah, you know, it's just so many ways to look at the market, man. And understanding this chart is very important, because it's more so to understand than it is to harp on the numbers, because the numbers are irrelevant. They're coming regardless. What's important to understand is why you have to hold on. That's why this chart is important, because it highlights why you have to hold on. And at some point along the curve, we're going to enter a point where it's warp speed for price. And my guess is that it's going to be after those 10 years, because that's when the most T-shares come out or expire. That's when the most stakes end. That's when we're going to get the most valuation price into the system. That's going to be like another big payday. And from big payday, we went from 0.2% all the way to 2 cents. 10x. Boom. No problem.
I like the sound of that. Warp speed.
That's what I think is going to happen, because at that point, the T-share rate should just ratchet up like never before. I mean, you imagine? This is going to be 10 years in. It's probably going to jump 1,000 hex a day. Like, who knows? Who knows? Like, it's hard to say, but it's going to be crazy. That's for sure. I mean, imagine. Like, that's the thing. It's hard to imagine.
I think we just hit the point where I'm realizing we're in alt season. I was waiting for it. Because think about it. XRP tripled, and now Doge quadrupled up to like 30 cents.
Yep.
In the past month or week or whatever.
Makes no sense.
So it makes sense. This is the great rotation. So that means, so that's another
Bitcoin
top
dominance
signal.
down to like 50.
That's the other top signal we were waiting for, right?
Yep.
Now we need price volatility in Bitcoin, and HEX is going to pump. Possibly. I mean, if we get it out there to people, but people's psychology is about to change real quick, and you'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
You
I
know, in a
mean,
week,
so
people are
Maddie,
gonna. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna ask, did you notice like people's reaction on social media last time with respect to Hex after the little mini bear that they had that time? Did you catch that?
No.
Yeah, so try to catch Twitter the next time there's a bear market. You're gonna see people caught on to Hex because of that little bear market that there was for those couple of weeks last time.
What was it? Can you show me on a graph like where the bear market was for Hex?
Hold on, yeah. Let me pull up a chart.
Or like the months, and then I can kind of figure out like
Yeah, it was just a
what I
couple of weeks ago. It
remember.
was just a couple of weeks ago. Just whenever the price dipped in big, like when the market went red for a little bit. Let me see. Open the window. Trading.
Because alt season, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, it's a whole nother animal, right?
Yeah, we like that.
So I think it was during this time. Yeah, I think it was during that time. Let's see. Because Hex is rocking out and everything else is struggling. Yep. It was during this time.
What month?
Let's see. It was basically, yeah, from mid March to the end of March, because that's when Ethereum bottomed and it took off. But during that
Oh,
time,
you mean
Hex
like a
was
month
just,
ago?
yeah, Hex was just going straight up.
Oh,
That's when people really started finding out about Hex on social media because they were asking, like, what the fuck is this? Why is this the only green market? Like, I've never seen this market before. It was crazy.
oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
kind of noticed that, but not really, because I don't follow enough people who
Yeah,
are
I
willing
follow
to
enough.
accept the
I got like a
truth.
whole Hex column. So I see all this shit for Hex.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's important. So I follow it. Yeah. I mean, I follow what I can. I don't follow everything, right? I follow what I'm good at following. But yeah, dude, it's serious, man. And that's the thing. Like, once this next bear market pops off, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Seriously. Because people are going to notice Hex because it doesn't correlate with anything. Hex is always going to go up. It's not going to matter. Because guess what? Hex has a value proposition. So when you have a reason to exist, it's kind of easy to keep buying you, right? That's why it's so easy for Hexicans to just buy Hex. Very
because we're
easy.
smart.
Well, I mean, clearly.
We like getting paid.
To a certain degree, yes, sir.
we like
That is
we
a
like
given.
all seasons.
Yeah, we
It's like
like
the
all
four
seasons.
seasons.
We're
Yeah,
we're all weather pro.
yeah,
All weather pro. For sure.
yeah. Things are about to get wild, I think.
Yeah, they are. I mean,
Um,
it's great because people don't see that these markets are pumping into weakening momentum, and the higher they go, the harder they're gonna fall.
but what does it mean? Like the people, so the people who just bought in that you follow, you know, is that not a top signal?
What do you
Like
mean?
you think that more people are gonna follow these treasury traders?
No. Oh, you mean the hedge fund? Oh,
Yeah.
so here's the thing. You have to understand how these things work. These people could easily be buying to sell. They could be easily marketing their position to exit it. You never really know,
Okay.
right? So that's the
Do,
thing. You never really know. For all you know, maybe they exited half.
do you know that they didn't enter like more than a quarter ago because they'd have to report it, or it doesn't
Nah, they
have to
don't have to
report?
report that. That's a crypto holding.
Okay.
What would they have to report that?
Okay.
That's not regulated by SEC, so they don't have to report that. They're not taking a position in a public company, so that's what
Okay.
the SEC regulates. They don't regulate crypto. They would like to, but they can't. They can regulate entities that operate within the crypto space, right? Just a little different.
Yeah, I mean, Hex is an altcoin if you think that Bitcoin is the greatest, but Bitcoin is an altcoin if you think Hex is the greatest. So.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it Hex season or alt season? Find out next week. Hex Therapy Live. But seriously though, we do have this game theory to go over that I'm excited to get your feedback on.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna put up the screen here. Let's see. So this came in from a viewer, long-time viewer, short-time viewer, I'm not sure, of the show Quant Gang. And it's Dylan. And so he messaged us because this was way too long to fit into one comment. But he's got quite the idea here. And so I wanted to read it out. And I don't know if I should just like publish this whole thing. I mean, it's just like, it's an embarrassingly like rough draft of like what we were talking about the other night. But
Right.
I mean, just people are asking for it. So I'm not really sure how to share it without just like posting it. And I want people to have access to it. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the easiest way.
Yeah, I'll probably just suck it up and be unprofessional and care about the community more than like, you know, I have like 82 people following me on this blog site. Like, I think
Oh,
it's gonna
nice.
be okay. Like, I think it'll be okay if I let them down with like a super rough draft.
Right.
Let's see. Okay, so Dylan's talking about pulse chain here.
Yeah.
He says having a sliding scale of inflation mimicking HEX, i.e., larger percentage locked, less collected, as a fixed inflation rate, with a sliding scale of fee collection working the opposite direction, where more transactions conducted, the lower the fees become. As more pulse fees are collected, those pulse fees take the place of the inflation of total supply. Expecting lots of transactions in a bull market, the supply would effectively be closing the spigot, causing more price pumpage, with the feature of coin burning once the fees collected surpassed the allotted, say, 1% fixed inflation for the total supply.
As long as there's a control, I always like the idea. I can't fully wrap my head around it off the bat because there's a lot of moving parts in there. But the fact that there's a control makes it viable. So definitely worth exploring.
Yeah. Like I like the idea of like a sliding scale that works.
Yeah, there's a couple
the
of controls
rate.
actually, right?
Yeah. And then he goes on to write, so low global inflation percentage given to validators, always fixed with HEX mechanics. Low percentage locked equals bigger share of the pool, more APY. Then sliding scale of fees based on transaction volume. More transactions processed, lower fees become. Fees become part of a pool. And as the pool fills up, the inflation rate of new coins gets taken over with collected fees. As the pool fills up, those abundance of coins that now exceed the allotted inflation rate, because the fee pool has now taken over the inflation / issuance of new coins, could then be burnt or given back to holders as a rebate of some sort. I'm just going to clean this up and put this in parentheses.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it reads a little bit better. And then he goes on with another final paragraph. So when the going gets good, it gets real good, and then eventually it would get too expensive and level out. Could do a ratchet mechanism that, as say a certain percentage of fees burnt or given as a rebate, whichever is decided, pass a certain percentage over given parameters, the fee rate could be decreased as well as the issuance of the allotted inflation. Meaning if Pulse had a 1% inflation global rate given to validators only, and 0.25% of the global supply and fees were collected, there would only be an issuance of 0.75% of new coins. New coins being emphasized.
Right.
If the fees collected surpass the inflation rate, then the surplus of fees collected is burnt or airdropped for being a holder. Example, global inflation rate is 1%, and fees collected relative to supply are 1.5%. There would be an oversupply of pulse that could be burnt or given to holders. Could have a ratchet mechanism that is global fees exceed certain percent targets. The inflation rate could decrease, meaning, I'm just going to clean this up here, meaning if we collect, say, 10% of the global supply and fees, the inflation given to validators would be cut by 0.1% or something like that. That aspect would require more thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea again because there's a lot of room to work with there, which is what you kind of need in this kind of a scenario.
Yeah, he's presenting like multiple mechanisms that interlock, and I think that's one of the things that's so cool about HEX is that you've got these these different mechanisms and I'm just spitting out random sounds. HEX is kind of like a 2-coin system, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got T-share, you've got shares, and you've got HEX coins. And so to be copying over the parts of that or that kind of dynamic into Pulse Chain, I think Dylan's a super smart dude here. And this, I think it would be cool
Definitely
if this got in front of Richard. So if anybody wants to I'll throw this up on Twitter, a link to this, and then you can copy and paste and direct message Richard or drop in the, if we drop in the Pulse chat, it might get a little bit more attention, being a little bit more organized, like at least this first piece or highlighted compared to if people like upvoted in the Pulse chat or something.
I mean, probably just be good enough to drop it on Twitter, then take that link and drop it in the Telegram chat.
Yeah. I'm not even going to tag it because I don't want a bunch of other cryptos finding it.
Yeah, I feel you there. I mean, these are exciting times, bro.
Yeah.
Exciting times. That's for sure. So I guess we could do some questions if you want, and then we could just wrap it up.
Sure.
Been a pretty good one, pretty good solid one.
Yeah. Yeah, we're headed into 3 hours. So you can see the chat there while I'm throwing this up on Twitter. You see any good questions there?
Let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
Thanks, Mount Corner. Appreciate it. You're awesome. You rock. Hot damn. Time flies.
No questions so far. I'm looking. Yep. So Crypto Goose highlights this thing that's pretty important. To highlight the power of 15-year stakes. Imagine in year 14 and 6 months. That means that you are now in such a small pool. Only 6 months of OG stakers left, and you are one of them. Right? That's pretty crazy. Because that means that you're now receiving a sizable share of the payout that's being paid at that point in time because you actually own trillions of shares and not billions or millions. So it changes the dynamic just based on that point in time. Let me see. Do you think it is good to measure a good metric to measure the amount of days between every 10,000 has increase? Yeah, I've been trying to think about that because I've been kind of tracking T-share rate. And what you can do is you can like download it from graphx.rocks. And what I found is that the T-share rate increase was pretty constant throughout the beginning, and then it jumped after the big payday to be a little more variable. But yeah, I think it's good to track it. That's one way we know how things are developing and growing in the system. I don't track it primarily because my mind automatically shifts to trying to forecast. Like I've made that chart, that one with those pink and that blue line. So that's why I stopped messing with it because it just pushes me into these other realms that I don't need to be going. So, but yeah, it's good to track it if you want, because it'll help you understand what's happening with the T-share rate if you're not looking at the expiring shares, for example. Let's see what else we got here.
So go ahead and people, if you want to upvote this and get it in front of Richard, we're gonna have to hit the like button there on my status
do all that
on
social
Twitter.
stuff.
Because it might not, I don't know, it might not look like he might think it's a video or something. Hopefully, I don't know. It's not clear that it's a Medium article, but I think he'll take a look at it. Maybe. If I can hire a dev to turn my ideas into reality. Let's do it. Thanks, Hex Mac. See, that's why we drink caffeine around here, so we can speak.
So let's talk about markets for a little second. For Vidian, you can check my price prediction on my Twitter profile. It's at will. It's the thing you see on the screen. I don't want to say it.
Oh,
my
wait,
Twitter handle's on the screen, so you can go check out my price prediction there for the end of 2021.
I just put your screen back up.
Oh no, man.
At Wales only.
Yeah. I meant that. Yeah, it's cool. Either way it works, it doesn't matter. Wow, yeah, I don't know. It's funny because we're almost at 17.5, and I feel like we crossed 17,000 the other day. Remember, we were hyped about that. We crossed 17,000 around March 7th, March 8th, around there in a month. And a week later, we're already at basically 17.5. So this thing is increasing faster than it ever's been increasing before.
How it says 17 and a half? What?
Yeah, it's 17,488.
Damn it.
Yeah, man. It's no joke. It's no joke. It's no joke. Seriously not. Let's see.
Yes, Hexmax.
How many days
Richard's original name? I was thinking about that.
So, all right, let me answer this question. Crypto Goose asked, how many days to get a 20K? So, look, we literally went from 17,000 to 17,500 in like 45 days. 40 days. So, hard to say, how quickly this can change, because you got to remember, we had a period of time where we had stakes ending at such a rapid clip that the hex rate jumped 200 plus hex. So hard to say. It could happen faster. It could happen sooner. Really hard to say. Let's see. Oh, gold. Gold's manipulated, so that no longer is the case. It's hard to have any solid views on it. That should be at worth at
That's a good
least.
point.
Yeah, it's worth at least. It should be worth at least 10, 20,000 an ounce, and it's not.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So good luck to those that hold it. Keep holding it if you hold it, but understand what you're holding. It's a manipulated asset, unfortunately. Nature of the beast. I was one of those people that didn't understand for years why until I started learning how the system actually worked, and that's when I realized, well, no shit. They just sell it, they lease it, they make the market overvalued.
Paper gold.
Yep. So let me talk about how markets actually work, right? Because people often talk about value proposition, and in fact, Richard actually touched on it yesterday, and I talk about it all the time because you guys know I love talking about value. So let me explain this one more time because people don't understand how shit works. So let me help you guys out. Not you guys specifically, because I know you guys pretty much get it. Um, yeah, only get the physical. That's right, crypto goose. Don't get the paper. Um, when you're buying something like Bitcoin, you're buying it based on the premise that somebody else is going to buy it, period. Otherwise, how else do you expect the price to go up? Seriously. Price of anything only goes up because other folks are buying it after you. Otherwise, what is the point of buying something that you think is going to go up if nobody else is going to buy it? It's not going anywhere because the market is going to dictate what that value is going to be based on supply and demand. That is literally the equation of price. So that's not even a question, that's a fact. You can Google it or whatever you like to do. So, this is why the De Beer strategy works, people. It's not a guesstimate, it's math, as always. So, when the value proposition of something stands concretely to all probing, right? All quality checks, all loops and whatever you can catch, right? All the catch 22s, right? You realize that there is true value within something, right? And what does that tell you? That tells you need to continue buying that thing until you no longer can. Because there's going to come a point in time where that value is going to get cut in half from 40% to 20%. I'm confident that that's going to happen in our lifetime, that the APY is going to decrease by half. I'm pretty confident of that. And that could imply easily a PE ratio greater than 1.5.
Yeah,
Because
I
we're
agree.
already at 17% at a 37%, 17 and a half at a 37% APY. Or I'm sorry, at 37 even basically with a third, with a, what do you call it? Jesus, now I lost my train of thought. What was the number I was going to reference? Um, we were talking about the APY. Why I can't remember the other number. Wow, talk about a blank. Anyway, point is that the PEX PE. Jesus, I can't believe I forgot. But yeah, so remember that when the HEX PE was merely hugging 17 even, um, the HEX rate was really still struggling, right? The HEX payout was still above 5.7 5 for the most part. The yield was greater than 37% and a half for the most part. So it looks like when we hit the APY to surpass that 37 mark on the downside, that reduces the HEX payout to below 5.7 HEX per T share. Um, and that also depresses, right? Because what's happening is that we have increased total shares, right? The only reason we had a 6.03 plus payout today is because of the Mercy and stakes. Because the average APY has recently been point 0 or 0.1001. basically 0.100 and change. And you can see that if you go to go.hex.com. It's on the home tab where they list all the days, the total shares, the hex payout, the daily payout per T share, and I think that's it. I can't remember what other column data they got there, but that's basically the data that I remember. But all those numbers, they make up this system, and that's what's important to understand. Understand how these numbers work with each other, how they work off each other. This is how I'm able to figure this out without having to do anything on paper, because I just simply understand how these things interact with each other, and how they lean on each other, because they do lean on each other. And that's why the gentleman's idea was a good one, because it introduced the same elements of something leaning on something in order to determine something, right? That's exactly why.
Cool. Yeah, I like your analysis there.
Yeah, because I mean that's what it is, right? Like, we're buying something that's valuable because it produces something for us. Whereas when you're buying any other coin, all you're really doing is buying into the fact that somebody else is going to buy it. And it's not really a fact. You're buying into the fact. It's not a fact. You're buying into that fact. You're buying into that idea, into that notion that it's going to happen. This is how Bitcoin went from 0 to 1, because more people are adapting that idea, right? That's the reality of how it works. That's the greater fool theory in action. Believe it or not, that's what that is. So what do we have left with that, right? Well, it's important people understand that, because there's a reason shit coins go to 30 cents. It's not because they're worth that, because it's of momentary adoption. You think those shit coins haven't been at these price levels before? Of course they have. Look at the chart. What do you think is going to happen this time? Same thing that happened that time, So that's why you have to pick the right asset. And it's the same for all asset classes: crypto, stocks, bonds, doesn't matter. You got to pick the right assets, because if you don't, then you're going to experience drag, and drag is never fun. So very important people understand that, because that drag is what people end up leaving to go to other coins for. They feel that drag burn in their pocket, and they know it doesn't belong there. So they dump it into the market by losing trades. It's just how it works, man.
Yep.
That's how it works. It's that nasty psychology with money. They don't understand it's a tool, so they gamble it away.
Stop gambling.
Yeah, this is why HEX is introduced, man, to minimize your downside to 0. Take advantage, because it's not gonna last for long.
Well, this has been quite a marathon for me, doing 8 hours of paying full attention to Richard on Tuesday, then doing a 2-hour stream with you yesterday, and then hanging out with you and Kareem for 3 hours after that,
Right.
and then doing a 3-hour stream today. So
it's crazy, bro. It's a lot of work. It's fun work, though, right?
Yeah, I love it. It's
crazy.
I wouldn't have it any other way. But I want to make sure that the audience here gets a chance to rest themselves.
For sure.
And go ahead and hit the retweet on that comment, so we can get it in front of Richard, and that way we'll all pump our own bags, right? Because I think Twitter's kind of shadow banning me a little bit right now.
Oh, yeah, you did mention that yesterday.
Actually, I know why. I know exactly why. They're mad at me for tweeting at all the Wall Street Bets people. Because I
don't even know who they are.
I spent a bunch of time tracking down all the different people on Twitter, and Twitter didn't like that.
Of course not. What would they want you to do that? That makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
Wow, why use a social media platform to interact socially with people? That's retarded.
I know, right? Yeah. Guess you gotta pay extra for that,
Yo.
Get in front of their eyes.
So let me just wrap up on one final statement, just with regard to that hedge fund. That hedge fund is looking for HEX, guys. They don't know it yet, but when they find it, they're going to shit their pants. Promise you. Interest rate traders, they look for this. They live for this. There's a reason I'm here. I'm just like those guys. Interest rate traders look for that fucking shit. And when they find it, they don't let it go. Dog with a bone. Dog with a bone.
Yeah.
Woo! Yes, sir. You heard it here first.
Well, thanks for bringing that story.
No, it's critical. I saw
fascinating
that.
And
I haven't been thinking about anything else all day.
Yeah. And
I don't know if I want them to find it or not.
It's like a match made in heaven.
Yes, it is. Literally. It's scary. Because the more expensive HEX gets, the better. The better. Because they're not afraid, right? It's crazy, bro. Oh, he's going to need HEX.com. I would like to be. Hold on, let me see if I can find the Telegram link for the gentleman. Telegram chat link for the HEX meetup.
Oh yeah, I just posted it. It's
you just posted it? Damn it.
T.me/HEX meetup.
Yep, you got it.
That's the chat where you can ask for, and if you do at Luis or at T Money, then they're the people who are already there on the ground offering to help people with that sort of thing. So, yeah, totally. Oh, and like hexakin.vegas, of course, is the main.
Right, the site.
That's the main program that will continue to be updated as we get the details in. And that's what I'll be doing.
Manny, you are the man. You are the fucking man, bro.
Thank you.
Putting all this stuff together is not easy. I know.
I enjoy
hard.
it, but
I've done
it's just like streaming, you know.
It's a meeting of all kinds of minds.
Yeah.
Within one brain, it's not easy.
The final therapy thought that I'll drop here is the psychology of enjoying your vacation. Actually, there's been some social psychology research that I kind of believe that says if you take a last minute trip, you might be missing out on some of the awesome dopamine hits you could be getting from looking forward to your vacation. And actually 50% of the enjoyment of a vacation is done before you ever leave and actually go on. Is that
right?
It's anticipating, looking forward to it. Whenever your mood dips during the day, if you can imagine yourself having a blast, like hanging out with other hexagons and everything like that, that's actually it's a valuable tool.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
So, with that being said, we'll sign off here, and we'll see you next time on, Wales. Are you going to do a stream this weekend?
I probably am. You're more than welcome if you're available, of course.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to either joining or maybe even just watching.
We'll see. Whatever you're able to do.
Awesome. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Guys.
Stake wisely, my friends.
Peace.